Happy New Year, you guys, and welcome to my end of the year eyeshadow palette declutter. You know, I do a lot of declutters throughout the year where I try and get rid of things simply because they don't fit into my collection. But eyeshadows, like singles, I'll go through, but I save my palettes for the end of the year, especially because I do an eyeshadow ranking of all the palettes that I tested. So for me, it's just kind of a good idea to do the eyeshadow palette at the end of the year. So if I want to declutter any of the eyeshadow palettes that I tested for the year, like I can do that. I just do my ranking and then I do the declutter. This is a pretty casual day. It is New Year's Day today and we are off. So I thought it'd be a great time to do this. I've got a ton of eyeshadow palettes. I just don't know how many I have. I tried 56 different eyeshadow palettes in 2025. So I'll probably start with those. Then I have palettes I haven't even tested yet. I haven't even touched any of the palettes except for a couple from my collection. So I don't know how many I have in total. I don't know how many of my collection that I haven't touched I want to get rid of because it's been so long since I've gone through it, at least 12 months. So, you know, that's not so great. That's just the reality of it. I had a year where it was wearing a lot of single shadows and getting ready really quickly. I just have another Divina Cosmetics single on my eye today. They're quick, they're easy. It's just been kind of what I've been reaching for. So I've been ignoring a lot of my palettes. And honestly, like I've built up a big enough collection now. I feel like every year I understand what I want a little bit more. And instead of just like keeping a collection, especially this year, I was much better at getting rid of things that I didn't like in shade and all of that good stuff. So let's stop my talking. Let's get into it. We are probably not going to do any swatches, but I will show you all of the palettes. I might do like mini reviews on some things. I will try not to go into too much detail, but let's get into the declutter, you guys. We got a lot to go through. I got stuff literally all around me, all over my room. So let's jump into it. Okay, you guys, let's start off with all the palettes that I tried for 25 because they were just sitting on the floor and I feel like this is a good place to start. There are some that I'm gonna get rid of. In fact, like this might be the part of the biggest declutter, I think. I mean, because I know which ones and I've tested them recently of the ones that I don't like. So these three from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, they came out with 4 of them and only the blue color story is still available on their website. Like these 3 are gone. So this one here, Exquisite Eyes, was my favorite of these 6 pans. It just was the best performing. I really enjoyed this color story too. And I like that these came with like a light mid-tone and a deep shade and the shimmers kind of follow the same. And I think you get one multi-chrome in each of these. This one's like a green to brown shift. I think this is a duochrome or it's just kind of like a sparkly shade. It's hard to no, I think that's a duochrome. So a multi-chrome and a duochrome. Anyway, I really enjoyed these, but these aren't available, but I'm not getting rid of these. I like the packaging on those. This one is in Entrancing Eyes. This one I liked the second best. Again, you get like one multi-chrome, which they put over here on this side. I think this one's a duochrome. It's hard for me to remember because I buy these so long ago. Anyway, same gradient in the shades. I really enjoy the Glaminatrix formula. They're one of my favorite brands. And then this one here was my least favorite, even though I love neutrals. This one's in Elegant Eyes. The brown shade was patchy on me, just a little, this one in the outer corner. So least favorite, but still really good quality. Definitely not getting rid of any of my Glaminatrix palettes. They're just some of my favorite. And then this one is from Shall We Makeup and Freya 86. It's the Somber Garden palette, but it's the mini version. So they do have the larger one that is circular pans, not square pans, but this is so good. You know, for C Beauty makeup, a lot of times what I find is that the matte formula is very thin and they're harder to blend and much easier to pack, but this one I find is very blendable. It's a beautiful multi-chrome here. They're just all great shimmers. They perform really well. It's a nice cool tone palette. I want to get more of these minis with Shall We Makeup and Freya 86. This one right here, the Garden of Love from SD Cosmetics. Sorry about the light here. This one is no longer available for sale either. In fact, I don't even think this one is. Like some of the other color stories are, but the Somber Garden one I couldn't find again. I could be mistaken, and they do sell these on different places like C Beauty Mall, Look Healthy store. There's like definitely other places other than like the one place I checked. Anyway, SD Cosmetics has such a delicious sparkly shimmer formula. That's the real appeal about these shades, and they're just so different. They're all hand pressed, hand poured, so beautiful. So I'm not getting rid of this. The other one that I have like this, the Mean Greens, which we'll see like much later, who knows when we get to that point. That one is still for sale, but the Garden of Love is not. All right, Diaverin Cosmetics. I want to get more from this brand. I really enjoy their palettes. They released a bunch in 25, but I didn't pick anything else up. I want to even try some of their highlighters. This is a Warlock of the Wood. just very good quality. That's basically what it comes down to. They blend well, the shimmers are great, like good. I always stumble when I get excited. Love this multi-chrome. This one's like a duotone shade. I don't know if you can see that, but it has two different color, like iridescent shades in the one pan, and then this super sparkly shade here. Just beautiful. Not my favorite color story overall, but I'm not getting rid of anything from Diaveroon. Here's a brand that doesn't exist anymore. They did close down. It was a brand out of Puerto Rico. It's Bell Cosmetics, which I think is such a shame because they had a really great formula, and I started getting into them I think last year when they started to announce that they might close. It took them a while, but they did. All shimmer palette, really good. I really just like how there's a full variety here. No shade really looks the same as any other one. Anyway, this is just a good quality formula, and everyone is different, and I really want that in my all shimmer palettes. I want every shade to look different. I do not like repetition when I buy like all shimmer palettes. Hoaxu is another C Beauty brand. I think that they're duping like the Sultry palette here, but this is from like the Velvet collection. They have a bunch of other color stories. Oh man, my son's now on the VR. Thank goodness we get that background noise. But there's a bunch of other color stories in this collection. This one is Veil, is the color story here. I don't know if you guys can see, but these are like super duper flippy shades. Like this one's even like a blue and gold. Oh my gosh, these are so good. The camera is not picking up just how delicious this is. But anyway, keeping that one. This stack here is Notoriously Morbid. I bought a bunch of palettes from Notoriously Morbid and tried them across probably 23, 24, and 25. So like the last 3 years. And I probably decluttered all the other ones that I have because I don't like the formulation. These are very powdery matte shades. They just like, they crumble on you. They also fade. They look very muddy by the end of the evening. And the shimmer formula is also kind of strange. Like this one is definitely better formulated in Bog Witch than this one in Unearthly Aura, which is like an all shimmer palette. They're very crumbly. They're almost like they have no binding oils in them. These ones are more like your standard metallic formula, so they're not bad. But when I was using this palette, by the end of the day, and it was just a work day that I played with it, my eyeshadow looked like a muddy mess. It was so bad. It was embarrassing. I really hated it. So I don't enjoy this formulation. I'm definitely passing that one along. Same thing here, Paint the Town Red. This one does have some interesting or like weird chunky, no binding oil kind of shimmers in it. Oh, can you see that? They crumble. Hold on. The other one that I swatched like really didn't do that, but this one totally did. They all do that. It falls apart. Please hold. Yikes. Like, ugh, get it off me. It's like setting powder. It's not really like an eyeshadow formula I've ever experienced before. Just don't enjoy it. Passing it along. This one, again, all shimmer palette. Very weird, chunky. There's no binding oils. They don't swatch. They're like piecey. I don't know. It's almost like a glitter. It's a strange formula and it doesn't work very well. Like, you know, it would be beautiful if it was like just different. And okay, here we go. And it performed, but it's so hard to work with. They look terrible on me. So yeah, this one again, I'm definitely passing along. This is the I Love You Very Much palette that was limited edition from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. You can't get this anymore because it was limited edition, but Give Me Glow is another one of my favorite indie eyeshadow brands. They do like the best, like so pigmented, so rich mattes, and their shimmers, like I always say this, like you can take that one swatch and just keep going. Like they're amazing. So definitely not getting rid of anything from Give Me Glow. I mean, at least I think, because I have a bunch more. From Salem Cosmetics, Grunge Life. I don't think they have any releases like right now, but I really enjoyed this formula. It's just that these mattes are very hard pressed, so they're a little bit more desaturated than pigmented, but I mean the color story kind of looks like that anyway. Like the pigment here is just less saturated than not, but the shimmer formula is amazing. There's only 4 shimmers in here and they're kind of different textures. This one's a little translucent duochrome, which looks pink to me but a little bit orange to you. Foiled, smooth duochrome. Cool. I want to see what else they do, so I'm definitely holding on to that one. And then Cosmic Brushes, you know, I really enjoyed this. I don't think I'm blown away by the Cosmic Brushes formula in the matte department. Like in the mattes very specifically. I think that they do okay, but I think that they're more of a struggle to blend in some of the deeper shades. And it's always been like that every single palette. And a lot of these are a little bit desaturated. I'm getting to love the shimmer formula, but it reminds me of like, you know, what you'd see in like Glam Light or Blend Bunny. They're all the same. You're not getting the really foily ones. And sometimes I kind of like that. I love this shade right here. It's so hard to see with these lights, but you guys, it's like this goldy white. Like it's so freaking pretty. Anyway, this is just a very useful color story, so I'm gonna hold on to it. Then from DD Signature, and I do have a discount code with this brand. I love this brand. She just sent me a message on Instagram. I think for all the people in like 24 and 25 probably, that she ended up like taking clips from some of the stuff that they did on their channel and put it on her Instagram. So she sent a thank you note to I think all of us that she did that with. I mean, that was very nice. Anyway, this is the Chromebook Volume 2. This one came with 3 mattes. I think the matte formula, because they're all deep shades, they're good for the outer corner. I mean, you could kind of put like some of these together and it would look fine, but I do like the variety in here. I do like the differences in the colors. These two look similar, but they're not. These are kind of similar, but this one's a duochrome or a multi-chrome. I mean, it's just so good. Also, I got this in PR, so I love her for that because I don't get a lot of PR, and I really do like when brands send PR to me, like smaller creators. I don't know, it makes me feel special. Dang it. I feel the support, you know, I feel the love. I want to spread the love. That's all. So anyway, I do have a discount code. I really, really enjoyed this. This one is still available for sale. The other one from DD Signature, actually, let's just finish all the DD Signature ones. The Shattered Romance palette. I don't know if you can still get this. I think you can. This is like one of my favorites from her, quite honestly, because it's just this very, I love tones like this as part of it. A fiery shade, okay, chunky, translucent. The variety that I get with DD Signature in a 9pan like this, or just like really any palette, is what I love about what she's changed. This one is a, why do I always blank when I get up here? The sparkly matte ones. Oh my gosh, I can never remember what they're called. It makes me so mad, but then when I walk away, I can remember. Anyway, I love this. These are delish. Such a good color story. Love it. The Neutral Wonder is one of the old formulations, and it's probably, oh, my gardeners just got here. That is special. I didn't know if they were gonna be coming today. They're so loud, you can always pick it up. Okay, let me try and talk over them because I'm gonna keep going. I think this is like one of my, is this one of my least favorites? Where's the other one in here from her? Oh, here it is. Okay. This one, oh, they're gonna get so loud. The Classic Autumn. Is this the one that I really like? Yeah, no, this is the one that I really like. But the shimmers are super, super pigmented. It's sometimes I do enjoy, like, you throw in some more translucent ones and the formulation here is all different. So this is a little bit of an older formulation, but this, they're right by the window at this point. This one I think is even older than the other one. I'm so sorry, they will pass, but you do get the difference in formula here. You get a chunky, you get some more smooth ones, your more standard satin, and then a translucent one. So, you know, honestly, like that I like about it, but the mattes, a lot of them were like a little bit too hard pressed in here for me. But you know what? I'm still gonna hold on to it. I am not ready to let go like of anything that DD has. All right, here's another C Beauty. Well, shoot, can I remember what this one is called? Sherry Yep. I think is in collaboration with Freya 86 again. Oh my God, it's called Floating Life. That's what it is. God, trying to remember these is crazy because it's all in Chinese. So yes, Floating Life is the color story. This one is still available. Another really good one, honestly, from C Beauty, where the mattes are blendable and not just like super thin packable. I will say, I think this one here from She Will Makeup, they do a better job in making the mattes a little bit thicker. These still are on the thin side, but I would say you can blend them. I love that you get some like multi-chromes in here. This one, sparkly foiled, then some smoother ones. Really good cool tone color story. Don't love the small pans, but you know, in a compact palette with cute packaging, what are you gonna do? All right, I'm so sad that Ladybug Glow kind of comes and goes with their launches. I wish they would do more because I really enjoy the stuff that they do. This one's the Magical Creation palette. Can't get this one. Ladybug Glow is not like selling any palettes at the current moment. You get a translucent one, a beautiful duo colored shade, and then a super sparkly one, and then 2 mattes. And they're really good. Like, it's really good quality. These are more desaturated. Again, they're not super pigmented shades, but I like mixing and matching the shimmers. So I loved Ladybug Glow's formula ever since I started trying them, I think last year. I might have started buying the palettes in 23, but I didn't start testing them, I think, until 24, if I'm remembering correctly. This one is the Mysteriosa quad. The only reason I remember this is because I literally just looked all of these up. When we get to some of the older palettes, guys, I'm not going to be able to remember like what they're called if they're not on here. Love and All Shimmer. These are really pretty, really sparkly. Yeah, I'm still holding on to that. From REM Beauty, a friend at work gave me this, the Principessa palette. You know, it's not bad. The black is the worst shade in here. It was hard pressed. It was very, very desaturated. Like, it didn't get super deep, and it's such a boring basic palette, but a friend gave this to me, and I have another one in here that I'm probably going to declutter. Like, I liked this, and I think it's good for travel. I don't think it was like great, but I didn't hate it. I did like the look that I came up with, and the shadows performed really well. So for now, I'm going to hold on to it. From Gloss Gods, the Look for Rainbows palette. You can't get this one anymore either. Ooh, just now this shadow started leaking. It wasn't before. This is the coolest rainbow. It's like blue, purple, green. Oh, it's so pretty. Definitely the only multi-chrome. Oh no, wait, is this one on multi-chrome? Yes, this one's also a multi-chrome. Blue to purple, but otherwise, like, these are really just kind of like reflecting shimmers, and then 2 multi-chromes in here. And this one's a duochrome down here, which is purple to blue. These two are a little bit similar, and some of the pinks are kind of like close to one another, but they're also duochromes too, so like they don't all look the same on their flip. Like here, you can definitely see that they're different. Anyway, I'm not getting I probably will get rid of some of the ones from Gloss Gods. Some of the older neutral ones. All right, what do we have next? From Clarity Cosmetics, the Stained Glass palette. I've also talked about this brand having a very strange formula. These are explosive shimmers. Everyone has referred to them as that, because like when you touch them, like this one falls out of the pan. I've literally had them like boop, drop out of the pan, and then the pan was completely dry, which tells me there's no binding oil. So like if I flick to this right now, it's like sand, like dry sand, not wet sand. This is a really beautiful, I wonder if this is like magnetic, because this is the only shimmer I would take with me. Let's test that. My guess is that they are not magnetic, but you know what? I would love for this to pop out. No, yeah, it's not coming. Like, I'd have to dig that out. I don't know if I'm willing to dig it out for it, but yeah, this I had to press back in. It's still sandy. This one, it'll swatch okay, but again, it's just, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep any from Clarity Cosmetics, so I'm gonna declutter it. This from Smashbox came in an advent calendar. It's part of their mood board eyeshadow palettes, and it is in the shade Fiery Vibes. They have 3 or 4 color stories in this. These retail for $39. I'm gonna just sit there for a second. $39. Why? Why are you doing that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me that these are 39 bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, what this, look at this. Look at what you get for less than 39, or maybe this was 39. These are just very standard satin shimmers. The mattes are nothing, so I'm gonna declutter it. Ooh, the First Gal on Venus from Gloss Gods is really good. It's such a beautiful, vibrant, fiery color story. I love this. Some of these shimmers look very similar on the eyes. I am not gonna say they don't, but color stories like this I really enjoy, so that I'm holding on to. I have the plastic palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I think this released in 25, like the very early part of 25, if I'm not mistaken, or the end of 24. I can't remember, but I see it in like quads, 1, 2, 3, and you know, it's like a light and then a deepening shade. You know, you can do some fun things with it, but it also has like 2 shimmers in each. So if you wanted to pair the blue with the black, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could create 2 different looks with each quad. I really enjoy it. In the Sickly Sweet palette that you will see it's right here. All the shimmer formula is like exactly the same, and it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, kind of just like a standard shimmer formula. So I kind of liked that this like was a little bit different. So I'm gonna hold on to it. My favorite palette this year was the Bonfire palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. I mean, it's the color story, again with the quads where you can do a different shimmer. You guys, mix and match. You want to do a neutral look, fiery, greens, best color story, best shimmer formulation, mattes, blendable, buildable. I can't take it. It was so good. You cannot get this one anymore either. It is totally gone. Tones of Turd, I'm not sure, from Glaminatrix. Second favorite palette this year. Look at it. Look at it. Look, sparkly, foiled, delicious, neutrals, gradient. I love when you can see things in columns like that. Something special about that kind of color story for me. Again, I don't know if you can get this one or its counterpart, which is the less, I don't know, offensive or poopy kind of palette, which doesn't have the, you know, the plugged up, corny surprise. Like the names are different, but same color story. Okay, holding on to that one. This one here from Inslee Rain, you can still get the Happy Go Lucky. I think she stopped these series of these 6 pans, and I still have more to go that I haven't tried, but I picked up a bunch because they were pretty affordable. I think they were like 30 bucks a piece. I'm not gonna say that that's affordable. I'm not gonna stick to that, but I will say as far as like Inslee Rain palettes go, they usually range from like the $70 to $80 price point. So anyway, I'm not overly impressed with this. Like it was okay. It was okay, but I'm gonna hold on to it because I haven't even tested the other ones. Like I'm probably not gonna get rid of, you know, anything in a series before I've tested the whole thing. Sumerian Sunset also gone. Probably got this in 24, I think, or 23. Who even knows at this point? You know, really desaturated color story, very fall, very autumn, but so good. This shade right here in Risa, like you can see I've dug into it. It's such a wearable green, pink, yellow. Like you know, oftentimes it's very difficult for me to wear a green shimmer to work and things like that. I think this one was a very wearable shade. So I just enjoy this, I think more so than some of the other ones that included mattes in them. I'm so sorry for all, I mean, they got a job to do, you know, so I can't be mad at them. All right, another brand that closed down in 24, 25 from Colored Rain. This is the Safari. Oh, I just got a cramp in my leg. Oh gosh. It's the Safari Rain palette. Very desaturated, but again, a very beautiful color story. These are very light reflecting, but almost like satin metallic shades, and they're very pigmented too. Like they're not translucent. They have all of the base that they do. So, you know, I think it's like a lot of shimmer heavy. You definitely get, I'm not saying shimmer heavy. They kind of take over the mattes a little bit. You know, the mattes might not be like the primary look on the eyes, but I'm gonna hold on to these. The Colored Rain formulation was so good. I don't care if they don't make them anymore. There's a ton of these that they don't make anymore, you know? This is all like literally my personal collection. I just, you know, share in the joy with you guys and not the other way around, you know? All right, the Cool Trolls palette from Cosmic Brushes. Not my favorite color story, but I got both of the neutrals and the Cool Trolls when they came out. Wanted to test it, wanted to love more of the formula because the Muse palette had some inconsistencies for me. I don't really love blues. That's not my thing, but I focus primarily up here with like pops of color. You know, occasionally I kind of like a blue shimmer and whatnot. So anyway, I'm not getting rid of it. Not my favorite color story, I guess is what I'm saying. But like I liked the quality. Mad Witch Cosmetics, it released this one palette and it stopped because I think there was like an issue, but I think she's opening another brand. I don't know. One of you will probably correct me, but such good quality. These gray shades are super similar and they're not terribly dissimilar from the brown, but the formulation of the shimmers and the mattes was so good. And it goes super light to super dark, and there's just a variety here. Like this is fun. It's just fun, and you really can do some things that make sense. Like this and this look good together. This and this look good together. A lot of things that make sense, even though the matte color story is a little strange. I'm not getting rid of it. Don't care that the brand is gone. I want to say the person that started it with the woman that owns this brand. It's wild. They don't make anything else anymore either, but the couple of palettes that I have from them, I won't declutter because I think they're so good. They're some of the best matte formula ever. I don't hear anybody talking about it because I started testing them after a lot of people knew already what was going on with the owner of this brand. She posts some very strange things. Like I don't know if she's okay, but the formulation is delicious. It is so freaking good, you guys. It's such a shame that people are like weird. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Unhinged, I guess. This is a singles palette bundle. It's the shimmers from Odin's Eye in S31 through 42. The only one that came out weird and too much binding oil is that translucent multichrome or duochrome up in the corner there. It's a mushy mess. The rest of these are really nice. Like that is awful. You know, it's probably something I should like contact the brand and say like, oh, yo, you gave me a mushy shade, but I'm not going to. But it was very affordable for Black Friday. So I am glad that I got more Odin's Eye stuff and building my collection because I don't buy all the releases from Odin's Eye like some people. The Morphe palette, the Rich Glitch, is this color story. You know, I didn't hate this quality. I'm gonna break a nail trying to get this one open. I hate when they honestly are this difficult to pop. It just doesn't seem to me like it needs to be. I liked these formulations. They're sparkly, but they're also like a satin, and I think they're a baked formula, a baked powder formula. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. They look poured to me, but I didn't read the description. I just think it really performed well. You know, it's a basic neutral palette. Wasn't bad. Didn't try any others, but that one was good. I do have a discount code with this brand, Bella Beauty Bar. Like, I love Bella Beauty Bar. But this palette, I don't know. It didn't hit in every way. These are very similar on the eyes. This shade wasn't really showing up, and that shade doesn't. It's my eye color, so that's a setting shade or a diffusing shade, and I didn't use it for either. The formula of these little shimmer heart pans are so good. They're delicious, but I was definitely underwhelmed by the shimmer formulation, but I'm still holding on to it. I don't want to get rid of it. And then from Makeup Rituals to Love Thyself, you know, not my favorite color story. I think you can kind of see why. You've got blues, like, it's okay. You have two tones essentially of each thing that I would make a look out of. So like, it's blue neutral, you know? Like blue and wearable. That's kind of what it is. But these are very desaturated matte formulation. These are really good. Love them, like them, mid-tone, deep, and then a translucent duochrome. I'm so sorry. Like, this entire video is just gonna be these guys outside, and I don't think I can cut it out. My time is so limited, I couldn't wait if I wanted to. I mean, I could, but it would be days later. Anyway, I want to see what else Makeup Rituals comes out with because I would like to test more of their formulation. Holding on to that one. All right, from Gloss Gods, the Your Forever Love palette. I think these are the ones that I'm gonna get rid of because, like, as far as neutrals go, it's okay, but I don't think I would reach for this again. Like, even if I was traveling, I mean, I'd love to collect Gloss Gods. I do. I really would. But I don't see myself reaching for this. Again, like, as far as neutrals go, I have more exciting color stories that I would definitely reach for. Maybe even from the brand is my favorite neutral palette ever made. I'm pretty sure, so we'll see it later. I'm gonna declutter that one. Same thing with the Lychee one. Very standard shimmer formula. It's like very satin, so it's okay, but it only has 3 mattes, and I didn't love the 3 mattes together. Another one I am going to declutter. All right, from Judy Doll. I have a discount code with this brand as well, and I did get this in PR, and I've been loving testing more C Beauty brands, K Beauty brands, and all Asian beauty. Definitely am drawn to it. I have some more new stuff that I want to test that's sitting to my right. I don't think I need this. I want to swatch this shimmer right here because, like, it's a travel palette. It's what it is. These two shades are very similar, but one pan can be used as a bronzer. This is kind of a highlighter. Do I like this shimmer? Yeah, I kind of do. This one is glittery, but I was wearing it as a like topper over like a shade like this when I was traveling because it's so small, you guys. I don't like big eyeshadows when I travel, but I always like to bring a matte along. I just think it's kind of pretty, and because I had fun with it the times that I traveled, I think for now I will hold on to this one. I know, like, is that weird that I passed this along? Just, I don't know, the shimmers in here were more exciting, so I'm gonna hold on to that one. Another one from Ladybug Glow and Ice Cream Beauty. This one I think released in an Ice Cream Beauty box and like might still be available for sale. I didn't get it in that box because I don't subscribe, but I bought it by itself. I think it's really fun. I think it's a fun color story, and I like that it's just like a little bit different. You can do fun stuff. The quality was just really good, so I'm gonna hold on to this one. Titanium Foxes. They're not shipping to the US right now. It's the Poppy Quiet palette. Otherwise, there are 2 palettes on there that I would buy immediately, but tariffs have got them. This is a very floral, maybe even like autumn color story. 3 translucent shades that are just absolutely delicious, sparkly, so good, flippy duochromes, maybe even multichromes, and the smoothest shimmers ever. Such good quality. I'm holding on to that one for sure. I want more. And then this just got restocked. The Echoes in the Darkness palette from Sinful Echoes. I love this. It's kind of a powdery formula, okay? I'm not gonna say that it's not, and it's desaturated, but it is so freaking beautiful, and I love these shimmers. They're very, very different, but like foiled and duochromes. I really do enjoy this performance of this. So I am for sure gonna hold on to this, and I want to try more from the brand. And then here's the other one from Colored Rain that I'm holding on to, the Queen Bee palette. Beautiful. Stop it. Seriously. Oh, these mattes are some of the best mattes I've ever tried. Ever. They're so good. They're intense. They're pigmented. They're blendable. They look so good together. These 2 shimmers are just amazing. It is a shame that they went out of business. All right, here's another one that I'm probably gonna declutter from Pink Crush Cosmetics. It's the Romance palette. You know, it's fine. It's a romantic, very desaturated color story. I got hard panning in this shade right here. Very satin shimmers again, so like, I don't know. I only need so many of these, and I don't think I would end up reaching for this, so I'm gonna declutter it. All right, here's another one from Salem Cosmetics. This one was in collaboration with Sassy Fairy. It's the In My Dreams palette. Different color story for me, not something that I typically reach for, but I am gonna hold on to it because I only have the two Salem Cosmetics palettes right now, and I want to see what else they do. All right, Kaima Cosmetics. Speaking of another brand who didn't handle a situation correctly as an owner, I know, just wild that we keep having that. The Bougie Boudoir palette. I think you can still get this. I used to have a discount code with this brand, but I don't know if I still do. I took it off, so I don't, you know. I was like promoting this brand quite a bit at one point because their formulation is fabulous. You know, this is definitely kind of on the warmer side, like when it gets to the eyes, but the difference in the shimmers, the multi-chromes, the semi-sparkly, the duochromes, the iridescent, the even number of mattes to shimmers, like this is an overall really well curated palette in my opinion, even if you don't like the warm tones that this ends up looking. I'm sorry, it is so good. So I'm not decluttering anything that I have from Kaima Cosmetics right now. Okay, another brand that I absolutely love and want to try more from, Artitude Cosmetics. It's the Metamorph palette, and this one I think is still available for sale. It's hard to say, but I just ordered another palette from them, I think from the like end of year sale that they've got going right now, so it was pretty discounted. It's on the way to me. I think it's the Vintage Neutrals. So good. Yes, this is a very interesting color story because you have some more like pastel-y shades and some brighter pops of color, but then super deep. There's a lot going on here. There's a quad that I could do 2 looks with, okay? These I probably wouldn't pair together, but I might pair these two. Like lots of different things going on, but the shimmer formula, some translucent, some super sparkly, some super foily. I love variety in palettes like this. If I spend 70 bucks, I want the variety. That's me personally. All right, Sugar Drizzle. I don't think they're selling anything right now either. No, they do. They have a couple of things. And I looked at it, but I was like, not. This is the Snow Bunny palette. The only thing I've tried from Sugar Drizzle, I got a lot of hard panning in this shade right here. I like the formulation. This is mostly though, for me, a shimmer palette because these are the only 2 mattes in here. And this, look at it. Can you see that it's hard panned? It's a shame. I don't touch my mattes with wet anything. I don't touch them with wet brushes. I don't touch them with wet fingers. I'm usually very, very careful. So I don't know if I'm gonna love the matte formula, but the shimmer formula was good, so I'm gonna keep it. From MBA Cosmetics, they don't have this anymore either. The Forever Young palette. I love it. I love it. Again, anytime you're gonna get like rose in a palette like this for me, I'm probably gonna love it, but the quality was really good. Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the Sickly Sweet palette. I just don't love it. I don't like pastels in general, but I was trying to be brave and do something different. The problem is there's like these weird like brown. This is a brown shade, or it's like gray. Here, I'll swatch it so you can see. It's almost like black, but it comes out like gray on the eyes. And I don't know where I'm going with a matte gray. Like, what do I do with a matte gray? Brown I can get because I can pair it with like oranges. I don't know what else I would pair it with. This blue makes sense. The purples make sense, but this is weird. I didn't love it. Honestly, this blue is also too gray. And the shimmer formula is okay, but it's very kind of standard. I mean, it's light reflecting, but there's no difference. It's kind of all the same. Whereas in like the plastic palette, I felt like they kind of changed some of the formulations. And for me, that was just a little bit more exciting. I mean, I'm going to hold on to it for now until I start like buying more from Blend Bunny. I think that I hold on to like what I have if it's like a smaller collection from the brand. I mean, I like to do comparisons and be able to talk about it. I mean, comparisons personally, and to be able to talk about, you know, the differences in formulas or like maybe reference a palette. I don't know. I don't do that too often. But unless I had like a much bigger collection and a bunch more that I knew that I loved, then I wouldn't probably get rid of this. But also, I do want to say, like, matte formulation is great. It's just I don't love the color story. And it's the only pastel palette I have in my collection, unless you count the one from Natasha that I'm probably going to end up getting rid of. All right, the Angles of Illumination from Bella Beauty Bar. This has way too many blues for me. Maybe that was intended, and then 2 shades that are exactly the same. So I didn't love this as an all shimmer palette. I'm just not like super heavy on the blues. I get it. That could have been like a choice, having some differentiation in the shimmer formula, but some of them, they look way too similar on the eyes for me. And these 2 shades out of the non-blue ones being exactly the same. I mean, they look exactly the same. If they're not, basically are. So you lose. For me, what I could have had, and this was like a very expensive palette, but I love Kristen. I love the formula. I'm gonna keep it. Here is another one that I got from a friend at work, the Hello Charmer palette. She got it in a boxy charm a long time ago. Very warm color story with 2 pops of blue. And I kept the one from REM Beauty that she gave me, but this one I don't love. This pressed glitter is very pretty, but I don't use pressed glitters very often. And overall, it's just like super warm. And so like I can get neutrals out of other palettes, and then these 2 pops of blue that don't go with any of the mattes. So I hate when that happens because I'm not digging into this one for those shimmers. You know, I have better shimmers in that color, so I'm gonna pass that along. Here is the other one from Clarity Cosmetics that I tried in 2025, the Lily palette. I don't know if you can still get this, but this was like a reformulated one. I think it used to be circular pans, and I think it's pretty. Let me hold it up. Hard panning, 2 similar. And again, I would like pop out some of the shimmer shades, but it's not even worth it. I have so many shimmers in my collection. Like, why would I, you know, why would I? So I'm gonna pass this one along as well. I did okay, I did. So let's move on. I think what I'm gonna grab next is probably like all the stuff I haven't tested that's just around my room. All right, let's just do these 2 stacks here. This got a bunch of stuff in here. Most of these palettes I have not used, and these were in my testing new makeup for this month, and these ones are going for February. And then there's a couple down here that I was just using like for in my everyday makeup drawers. So I don't want to like mix these up with other palettes. Let's just do these together. So these ones, let's do these first. These ones right here are the palettes that I am actively using for the month of January. They were in there for December. I just didn't get to them because I got so many singles, which some of them are down here. So this is the Dead Roses palette from Bella Beauty Bar. It's gorgeous. It's just, you know, kind of monochromatic-ish. Like here's a monochromatic like purple and red. I did put a look together with this palette, but it was so bright. I hated it. I love the formula though. I think I just kind of went a little bit too, I'm supporting the brand and not really a color story that I'll reach a whole lot into, but I was playing with a lot of the reds, and it's just, I don't think reds look the greatest on me. Like deeper colors I definitely prefer. So I've used it once. I'm definitely keeping it. We're keeping everything in this stack. The Witchcraft palette from Spellbound Beauty. I have used this shade because it was a great transition shade, like over and over again. Interesting, very desaturated mattes on the outside, shimmers in the middle. Excited to try it. The Recently De-Influenced, you know, I'll probably just get rid of this. I usually keep these until I test the palette the first time, either a box or a sleeve. I don't love the layout of this. I like might actually change it, but then, you know, it has the shade names, which I try not to do. This palette is still available for sale. I don't know about the Witchcraft and the Dead Roses, but this one I did see on her site still, or maybe it's there, but it's sold out. I can't remember. This went away and then it came back and maybe went away again. I'm excited to try this from Bella Beauty Bar, but again, I feel like, you know, it was kind of ambitious, but it does give me those pops of like deeper color that I really like. I'm just kind of wondering, you know, am I gonna love, like these are very mid-tone and deep shades without like a lighter shade, so we'll see on this one. I guess I got rid of the sleeve on this one because I did use it one time. I think I used like one of these shimmers. It's the Warlock palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. Again, very mid-tone to deep. I don't know. We're missing a lot of like lighter transitions. I wouldn't use this as a transition. It's more like a pop of color. And then this one I don't think is available anymore either. The Fairy Frolic palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. Again, just a very desaturated palette. And these are very satin shimmers. So don't know. And then this Makeup by Mario, the Master Mattes, the Neutrals. Yes, this one I held on to because it was my only Makeup by Mario palette. And listen, I don't think the mattes are the greatest quality, but I've been using so many singles lately that I needed something like neutral to put on the lid, and sometimes like, you know, do a shade in like a wing fashion. So I like use the liner, and like sometimes I was deepening the outer corners, and so this palette did come in handy. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I thought about it. I was like, all right, I need some neutrals to just go on the eyes. The thing is, I don't think all of these come out like cool toned. I think I reach for this one an awful lot because it's a rosy beige color on my lid, which is a great transition shade. I'm gonna hold on to it because I'm using it that way, and it's like finally after so long, well, I guess not after so long, but after buying it, that I'm actually getting practical daily use out of. This is the Singles palette that I just recently purchased. If you guys saw my everyday makeup drawer, I had a bunch of Divina Cosmetics shades that I recently purchased on Black Friday, and they were very affordable. And then I didn't get to use all of the shades, so these top 4 were the ones I was still working on. I'm wearing this one today. I wore this one 2 days ago, so I just have these 2 still to use, and this one is just like, oh, why did you touch it, Carrie? I don't know. I want to swatch it so badly, but it's a very, very sparkly shade, so I know it's gonna take me a little while to apply. It's definitely glitter glue territory. This one looks delicious. I can probably just wear that really anytime. So with these, I was pairing it like with these. That's how that worked. All right, these are all the one, no, hold on. These 2 at the bottom down here are actually ones that have just kind of like, they need to go back, but they were in my everyday makeup drawers because I wanted to get use out of these, and that's when I started rotating in palettes from my collection when I stopped doing palette of the day series on my channel. So this is the Heather Austin palette from Adept Cosmetics, and it had been so long since I had touched it that I wanted to touch it again, but it's just been for like 4 months now, kind of just been sitting up in my rack of eyeshadow palettes where I've been rotating like these ones in and these ones in. So I need to put this away. This can be rotated again when I start doing a shop my stash on eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to start doing that rotation as soon as I get through all of the palettes that I hauled for the past 2 years. I think in 23 and 24, you guys, I hauled like 100 palettes. I'm not kidding. All I wanted to do was try indie brands, and that's what I did. So I accumulated so many. That was just a mission of mine that I had. So this needs to go back, but I'm gonna keep it. And then the Cold Moon palette, I want to say this has now been like remastered from Ensley Rain. It's now smaller, but it had so many cool tone neutrals that this was like kind of an everyday grab for me. You can tell I dug into some of these shimmers like quite a bit, and these ones here, surprisingly enough, the ones that are maybe easier to work with and less foily, I was reaching for less, but they make bigger impressions anyway. Like that one I already straight up hit pan on. Anyway, I think I need to put this back because I'm working really hard on all of these guys. It's staying. Again, all of these are staying. Here are the other 2 from Ensley Rain from the little series collection. I don't know if these like had a name. I don't think so. I mean like the series itself, but these can't go anywhere because these are going to go in for February. So the Nutty by Nature is hilarious because I listened to Naughty by Nature when I was a kid. This one actually looks quite exciting because it has that secret stash shade that's really fun. This looks like a holochrome, and the color story just looks, I don't know, funner than the other one that I tried, whatever that one was. I already forgot it. And then the What the Fox I really like too. Oh, look at that. I haven't even taken these off yet. Let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, that is a iridescent multi-chrome or duochrome. I don't know. That one looks like a holochrome too. You can't really see it like with the lights shining on it. It's very, very pretty. I've been loving shades like this. These 2 look really similar, kind of. Okay, that's a teal and that's a green. Let's not get carried away here. These I don't even think she has anymore. Like maybe a couple of them, but not all of them are available. And then I wanted to try more from Lethal Cosmetics. So I placed the order for this palette. I think I'm gonna be excited to try this because I've only ever tried 2 Lethal Cosmetics palettes, and they've been launching some stuff that actually looks somewhat decent recently. You know, like different formulas. I had some issues with how kind of creamy some of the matte shades were, and the shimmers the same thing, very, very creamy, and they didn't have a ton of pigment to them. So I'm excited for this one. This one is not on here, which they do a lot. I wish they did. I don't remember what this palette is called. Lethal, can you please start putting the names on here? Like, I think everyone struggles to tell you what these palettes are called. Okay, that one stays. Ooh, from Bella Beauty Bar. I'm pretty sure you can still get this one. The Green Goddess, the eyeshadow. What am I talking about? It is eyeshadow palette. I was gonna read this. Anyway, okay, listen, look at this. This looks so stunning. I love when you split the colors up and don't mix them together. This makes so much more sense. This looks like a holochrome. This was a pretty expensive palette, but the color story is definitely my speed. A lot of Bella Beauty bars, like the collaboration she's been doing lately, are like blues and purples, which just aren't my thing. And then I wanted to try more from Gourmand Girls, so I picked up the Peach Perfect palette, which I I heard a lot of people say was really, really good. Now these size palettes, I've had some struggle with the Gourmand Girls formula, that some of the shades weren't the greatest and they didn't blend the easiest for me. The long pans, and you'll see them in my collection later, the ones that are usually like collaboration palettes, those have been tremendous quality. But oh my gosh, look at that. Look at it. It's so pretty. But I heard really good things on this, and that's definitely a more wearable color story. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these ones back in their little pile so I do not get them mixed up. These are the 5 that I'm trying to use for February, and then these are the 5 that I'm using right now. And I can't pull these in until I do play with all of these. So let me go put these back. What you guys are looking at when this camera stops shaking, these are the remaining palettes I hauled, 23, 24, and 25. Actually, I think I've gotten through all the palettes I hauled in 23. These are just gonna be like a few in 24, and then the rest I hauled in 25. So these are the ones I have left to put into rotation. Oh my gosh, this is really stuck in there. For my everyday makeup drawers. These are so cute, but I've like smushed this sticker. I don't know what palette that came with. It's like little, what are those, mushrooms? So I think I'm just gonna get rid of that. And then one of the brands sent me like a little necklace that came with the order, which is really cute. I'm gonna like give that away. Cleona Cosmetics. I think this came with like a Salem Cosmetics one. It's like a little sticker of a crow. Is that a raven? A crow? I don't know. A lot of these actually came from Black Friday when I got great deals on them. Some not so much, but like that's how I ended up getting a bunch more. I did try and like slow down my purchases. Anyway, Sage the Day from ColourPop. This was a Black Friday deal. This was freaking $8. It was really affordable. But I haven't tried a ColourPop palette in so long, but this color story looked delicious. Again, they stay in the boxes until I use them. I don't know why I'm like that. I guess in case I pass them on for some reason. And then this one from the Grinch collection that they did. This was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I picked up this and 2 of the highlighters from the collection. This just looked like, oh my gosh, wait. Oh, it looks so pretty. It looks so pretty. I'm gonna say like these 2 top shades, like how different are they actually going to look on me, you know? Probably not too much, and maybe even like a difference, not much of a difference between these 2 shades. This is definitely warmer toned and this is cooler toned. But I don't know how much it's gonna like make a difference on the eyes. Maybe a little. And then from Bella Beauty Bar, I wanna say this is their second to most recent palette that they launched in collaboration with New Pore Makeup. It's the Coalescence palette. Love this color story. Love it. Greens and maroons and the purples. Again, I'm not such a fan of purples and blues. I don't know why, they just aren't the things that I reach for. But lots of different variations, some chunkied, some more satins, some sparkly ones. Excited for that. Again, with the Bella Beauty Bar formula, recently, not formula, rather, color stories recently, a lot of them are so blue and purple. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna buy that because it's not gonna get a lot of use for me. My most recent palette from Dee Dee's Signature, not her most recent release, her holiday palette looks so good, but from the Roots is this one. Stunning, stunning. Dee Dee. She has gone through such a transformation in both her formulation, her palettes, her packaging. Ugh, I just love it. I love her. I love this. Love it. I just, you know, it was one of the brands that when she said she was closing and then she's like, all right, you know, I hope I come back, and she did. She came back strong, that I'm so glad that she did. I think she's just a real human and down to earth people. Listen, ow, I gotta get a thing, man, that hurt so much. Down to earth people, I'll support all day long. Really, 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 truly, okay? Okay. The Trick or Treat palette from Glamlight I picked up, oh, super duper cheap, on Black Friday. Look at that color story. It's so pretty. See what I mean about the Glamlight like shimmer formula? This one's bothering me because it's all bent. All the same. That's what I was saying earlier about the Blend Bunny formula. It's literally all the same. It's not bad, but when you get palettes like this or this, they're just different. There's a lot more going on, you know? And then the Light in Your Eyes palette. Yes, I did start placing orders again with Ensley Rain. I did. Ooh, that one has a whole thing on it. I couldn't not. This is such a desaturated, grungy, but yet wearable palette with shades that looked amazing. And this shade looks funky. funky. Like, why is it coming out? It's like two-toned or something. Oh, just good. Just good. I'm sorry. Just delicioso. I can't. It looks absolutely stunning. The Black Cherry palette from Simply Posh. I've never tried anything from Simply Posh. Some of the color stories don't look like I would get a ton of use out of them, so I've been like super hesitant to pull the trigger. But this one, this is definitely very muted and very wearable. And so for me, I was like, that's gonna be the first palette. I am very excited to try this. Some of the colors, you know, if I'm like jumping between here and here and here and, you know, they kind of look a little similar, right? Like, are they gonna be that different in a palette like this? All right, this one I also got as a steal, the Garfield palette from Glamlight. I wanna say this is still on their site. All right, let's just get my tool because that last one really hurt my finger. This was a recent, again, like recent haul, but more recent than like some of the other ones, for example. I just recently showed this. This is different for Glamlight. Like, look at that Catitude shade. Can you guys see like how beautiful purple but golden? I feel like it's like almost a holochrome. I mean, it's not, but like there's so many different color sparkles in there. It's so hard to see on camera. Anyway, this color story, delish. I think I will put this sucker back. I usually keep these on here. I don't know what that does necessarily. It's not like preventing the oils or anything from putting it upside down. Don't care. The oils from leaking or anything if that's the case, but I think it probably helps, you know, if I'm slamming these palettes around. Here's the other one that I hauled from Gourmand Girls in this like style packaging that isn't the long skinny ones. Mocha Moment. Oh, is that not wearable? I'm obviously seeing a trend of me buying palettes now that are so much more my color story than buying everything the brand releases. I'm happy. I'm happy with the choices that I'm making. Some of my other ones were just buying it to try it. The Chapter 2, Fable of Spice and Bloom from Question Beauty. My first thing that I got from Question Beauty was this. And then I placed an order for, what did I get? Why is this scratched? It is scratched. Some lipsticks too, or some lip glosses. And so far, so good. No, that's what I got. I maybe did get a lipstick. I can't remember, but I got singles too. Some loose pigments. They are so freaking good. I got this holochrome loose pigment. I can't even take it off. From Question Beauty. That is stunning. Oh, it's not this that's scratched, it's this. I'm gonna get rid of that, I think. Yummy. I love when you have like a matte to a shimmer. The even ratio to me should never be abandoned, ever. These palettes are very, oh, it is scratched. These palettes are very expensive. Can you see that? It's like brand new, but totally scratched a couple of places. Anyway, I don't care. I think that's how they should all be. Honestly, the variety is what I think makes a palette expensive. Like, it's the reason I'm willing to spend more money on a palette is if I'm getting an even number of shimmers to mattes. Like, mattes aren't the more expensive thing to formulate. The shimmers are. Anyway, I am so excited to try more from Question Beauty. Just very excited. And by the way, I didn't get, I think, Chapter 1 because it's not a color story of my dreams. All right, let me put all of these back because I think I had them in like an order of how I purchased them, but now they're just gonna go in any old which way. This one is so freaking big. Like Inslee Rain and their, look, it's not even fitting. And their giant palette. What do I do here? Guess you're gonna go like that. All right, it's good enough. Let's move her along, shall we? All right, what else is in here that I've held on to? Oh, Titanium Foxes. Hi, Carrie. Thank you for the support, and I wish you a sparkly, I don't know what that says. Sparkly, oh, spring with Poppy Quiet. I must have purchased it during spring. I'm gonna hold on to that little note and put it somewhere. Kaima Cosmetics, it was like, you know, a code I wanted to hold on to. Kaima had a bad response to a consumer and to a YouTuber and responded poorly, and it's just in bad taste. I do have a palette in here from her. Tones of Turd Shade Definition. I'm gonna keep that. The lights are so bright, I'm sorry. There's a couple I'm gonna keep. The rest of the stuff I'm throwing away. Anyway, before that, I had supported her brand wholeheartedly. What is even this? What is this, you guys? Why does this look like this came off of my blinds, but I know it didn't? I have the faux wood blinds. These don't come. What is this for? I don't even know what this is. Like, now I feel like I should keep it. Oh, Black Moon Cosmetics. I think it must be here because the chain is exactly the same. I did buy one palette from them in 24. And then, you know, where do these come from? Who gives me these? I think it was Kaima that was sending these. I don't know. We're gonna move along from that. Anyway, let's go through the Kaima Cosmetics one, the Frosted Fairy, because I do really like Kaima Cosmetics. Kaima is Gemma and Kai, her son's name, mushed together, and was a newer brand in 23. And then she had that response. If you guys know, you know, okay? But I cannot support, like, you're ugly. What was the comments? Do you guys remember? Like, you're ugly and you shouldn't be wearing our palettes or something like that, or you don't know how to do eyeshadow, or don't worry about, like, it was gnarly. And then people were coming for her, and then it just seemed like somebody else made the apology note, but it was almost like satire. Like, you couldn't tell if it was a true apology or totally still poking fun. So after that, there's not a chance. No thank you, no way, no how. So this is gorgeous, and Kaima Cosmetics used to be one of my favorite brands. You guys can see the color story. I was supporting the brand despite the color story because it's too bright for me, probably. Too all over the place, probably. Too many pops of color. Definitely, I'm gonna get a lot less use out of the shades than if it was just a few pops of color. But we not buying anymore. All right, Glaminatrix Cosmetics, the Barely Basic palette. I love Glaminatrix, but I think this is one of their older palettes. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna think about the formulation, but you got your translucent duochromes up at the top, or even some cases like multichromes. I don't know, it's so hard to see. Very, very not foily, but light reflecting shimmers, and just like, you know, mattes. Here's the look, here's the look, here's the look, here's the look. I love it, I love it. This one is probably one of the older. This is hauled in 24, definitely not 25. This one's hauled in 24 too, I think. The Okavango Safari palette, which I don't even think is available anymore from Nomad Cosmetics. You know, I think this is like one of their older formulations because I feel like I've swatched the shimmers and they were not super light reflecting. And honestly, the binding oils that they used smelled so bad when the palette first arrived. Same thing with the New Zealand Stargazing palette. It has like such a strong scent, I kind of had to air it out. This has, I think, their first iteration of like putting multi-chromes in a palette. If I'm not mistaken, this was the first time that they did it. I'm very excited to try this color story because there's some deeper shades going on up in here. Even though there's purple, I still think like it's probably wearable. This was the fourth palette that I picked up from Cosmic Brushes, or Cosmic Beauty now. This is definitely a preference in color story. I would have picked up way more from the brand to try it, to support them. They're pretty affordable. Shipping is not great in the US. But if you put a larger order together, it's like a little bit better, you know? I mean, I think, you know, you're not just paying like $12 on shipping for a $24 palette, which I'm telling you, it's like that's the case. And I'm stumbling all over my words today. That is the case sometimes. But these looked so much different than the other ones. These look sparkly. This looks like a straight up holochrome right here. Super sparkly. That one is like a duochrome. It's pink to you guys, but it's purple to me. And it looks smooth and delicious. I think that this palette, honestly, the quality looks the best in any of the palettes that I have from the brand. Very excited. Oh, Krypton Cosmetics. I want to do more. When they first dropped their Forest, and I totally forget what the palette was called. It was my favorite palette of the year, I think in 23. It was so good. And then they just like kept releasing them after that. But they were so expensive and they were hard to get. Like shipping was also very expensive. So this was definitely at a time where a color story was not in, it was just a release. I was willing to support as opposed to a color story that I really like, but it was also the formulation that I thought was amazing. Their packagings, oh, it was the Burnt Forest palette. Their packaging is just amazing. This like faux leather. This is the Atlantis palette. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But there's still so many releases from this brand that I still want to try, but this would, I should have waited. That is not my favorite color story. This one, however, this little mini that they came out with, much more wearable. Still greens and purple, but I feel like it's still more wearable, like especially because you get the greens over here, but you can also just lay this all over the lid and just do a shimmer look, you know? That's why. It's the Tulip Dream palette. I don't know if you can get either of these palettes anymore either. They come and they go, man. They become irrelevant fast. All right, this one is still in the cardboard and I really enjoy this presentation. Do we need all of it? No. I would like go without this to pay less money. Hensley Rain. This was a brand that was like rude to me and was like, no, you're denied. I don't know. It was the way it was like handled. It was like blocked from the website. The Underland palette. I don't remember the color story on it. Not even, oh, deep and dark. You guys, look at the holochromes in here. I'm certain these two are holochromes. Holy, well, at least that one. The Shattered Looking Glass. Sheesh. Deep, dark, dew. Yes. Okay, I think it's time. I'm gonna put that Underland box in a closet because I don't have the heart to throw it away with this like felt lining, but I don't need it to sit in this like bin over here anymore. So it's gonna go away. All right, let me put these back, and now it is time to get into my permanent collection. This is gonna be probably the meat and potatoes, even though we're like 40 minutes in, okay? Okay, I'm not gonna go drawer by drawer. I'll probably do two drawers at a time, and all of these are my more affordable palettes with Tarte. I just had these two in a more affordable palette drawer. All right, these two right here, you cannot get anymore because these brands are gone. This is from Believe Beauty. I got this on a vacation trip. Like, we were going to the dollar store. Somebody needed a drink. I don't know. That's the way it was. And so we went in and I saw this, and it's like an all shimmer palette, although these are like they're like a satin formulation. I still think they're a shimmer, like a satin shimmer, but they're so pretty and they perform as like great singles on the eyes. So even though this brand is gone, I'm still holding on to it. Same thing here. This is one of the best, because I think she used her same formula, like drugstore quad I've ever had. This is from the Oma by Sharon C line, the Eyes Baby like collection. This was in Dreaming. I think there were 3 of these palettes. This is one of the best performing little quads from the drugstore that I've ever had. I think this brand just, she didn't make enough money, so she ended up closing it. But it's the same formulation that she has in her larger palettes. The Black Magic line, so good. Those are also like great, somewhat more affordable palettes. Anyway, that's staying. All right, Sin City from Essence. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. It isn't. I would like to play with this again one more time. Some of these are like really light reflecting, kind of cool shimmers. They came out with a couple. I think there were 2, Sin City and like one other one that I ended up not picking up, but I think I'm gonna hold on to that one. Let's see, the Moira Beauty, I'm Falling for You. Listen, I decluttered the other color story and said that I was gonna hold on to this one. These are really thin mattes. So I don't know that Moira does the best with with matte formulations. So I did say I was gonna hold on to this one from the Love Letter series, and I'm still going to. Let's see what might be decluttered. You know what? These Beige Cosmetics from like the Weekend Vibes collection at the bottom, plus the Travel series. I only have 3 left. I've gotten rid of all of the other ones. So Lost in Los Angeles. It's pastel. And now that I have the Blend Bunny formula, I just don't think I need it. I kind of like the color story here better. Like if I'm like looking at a pastel palette and I'm thinking what makes the most sense, this one kind of does. And I kind of like these shimmers, like the way these look better than the Blend Bunny. Sorry, I don't know. I think I'll hold on to it. The Party in Puerto Rico. I have barely even touched this, but it's fun, bright colors. And then the Avocado Toast palette, I really haven't touched this either, but here's my thinking, okay? With the Avocado Toast palette, let's just leave that right there. The Let That Shit Go palette, yes. You see the colors kind of along the same lines here. More condensed version, and I like these shimmers better. So I'm gonna keep that one. I am going to let go of the Avocado Toast. This one I would rather reach for. It's more digestible. Optimistic AF. I can't let this go. The shimmers are delectable in here, but the matte formula is great. I've barely touched it. Still in really good condition, even though it's years old. This is a color story again that I really like. I pared this down quite a bit. Like these, oh my gosh, the Talkback series. Guys, I always forget what these are called. Anyway, I pared this down last declutter, so I like those 3. The Sweet Tart Cravings from Tarte. It's the Sugar Rush line. So good. So good. These are the creamiest shimmers ever. Creamy, deamy. It's a dark color story. I don't care, but the shimmers are delicious. I think the Sugar Rush line is so underrated. And then this palette here from Tarte. This has sentimental value, so I don't have like a separate collection for like a shadow box or anything like that. But the reason that I will never get rid of this one, at least not for now, is because I traveled when I always say this every eyeshadow declutter. I'm so sorry. You know, people lose their parents. It's just something that happens, but I am such a dummy. I'm a dummy. My dad was much older when I was born, and so I wasn't ready for him to go at the age that he is, or was rather, he was 86 when he died in 22. It was at the end of 22, and I took this palette because I had like hauled it right before then, and it might have even released at that point. And then I traveled with this, and now I'm just like, you know, I look at it and I know what it means to me. So it just can't go anywhere. The other palette in here is just like that. There are two palettes that I took, one at the first trip and one at the second trip after he had passed. Anyway, what I was saying was 48 years old when I was born. Like there's literally like 62-year-olds at work that are talking about like their father getting to that age where they're gonna pass, you know, like 86, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, you know, we're 20 years difference or we're 22 years difference or something like that, and they're like, you know, they're heartbroken about it. But you know, I just wish I wasn't in my 30s when my dad said goodbye. And I don't know, I don't think you think, you know, you're not thinking it's time in your 30s. I don't think that's how 30-year-olds are like. So anyway, it was traumatic for me. Plus, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it. It was my first big loss, really. All right, this one from Juvia's Place. I got rid of a bunch of Juvia's Place palettes last declutter. I like this color story, so I don't want to get rid of it. And then the mauves is probably my favorite because of that shimmer right there. It's so pretty. You know, it's more of like a sparkly shade, and it's like translucent, even though it looks like it has a base to it. But I think I just like how cool toned these purples are. The Gilded Nude from Milani. I haven't even reached for this. I said last time that I was gonna pull these out, and I haven't. But I don't want to pass it along yet. And then this one is the Luster Light. These are great travel palettes. You could probably beat the poop out of these. The shimmers here are like delicious looking. Like, look how pretty that is. Can you guys like, are the lights up too damn bright? Probably. That's a good shimmer, okay? It's very sparkly, a decent base to it. So you can probably beat the heck out of this palette on a travel and it would be just fine because there's no real loose glitters here. Yep. I mean, this is why we're gonna get through, it was almost 20 palettes, I think. Or maybe it was 20 palettes of the ones that I just showed you guys that I haven't even tested. I've been doing 5 a month. So very soon I will be able to start rotating these in. I said I was gonna do it last year, but let's be real. I think I have a solid plan now. Believe me, please. And then the Culture 2 palette from Juvia's Place. This is all over the place. It's not a rainbow palette. It's more like, you know, jewel tones with grungy tones. Like there's kind of both of those things in here. And so it's really nice. But some of these shimmers are really fun. And I pared down my Juvia's Place collection to 3 palettes and I don't feel like I need to do it anymore. I will reach for those for sure. All right, let's go through my little baby color pop. Off Melrose, one of my favorites because it's a more muted wearable one by the Rosé Pinky Tones, which I still like when they're more muted like this. All Things Equinox, cool toned and delicious, Going Coconuts. I mean, I think all of these are really nice. This one's very wearable too. Kind of boring though. Maybe that's what people like. Not as exciting as some of the other ones that I have. She's Got Solstice, one of my very first ColourPop palettes. This one kind of exploded, but also not getting rid of it. That's Taupe. I like That's Taupe more than Going Coconuts. This is definitely cool tone. Going Coconuts is very warm toned on the eyes. I love warm toned shadows, so it's not as though I'm saying I don't prefer or I don't like warm tones and I prefer cool tones. All right, the Gettin' Fresh palette was the other one that I took with me traveling because I got this right before then too, like right before all that happened. So this is super wearable too. There's so much going on in this, like pops of color, but like very wearable deeper shades here and deepening outer corner shades, and these still feel super creamy. So far I have not touched a shade from all the palette. Oh my gosh, all the palettes that I've hauled since the start of this that have felt dry and shitty, except if they felt that way when I first got them. So hopefully keeping them in that drawer away from the sun in a dry place with the blinds closed is gonna lengthen the longevity of these. So I'm definitely holding on to this one. This one also just has like memories. And this one I got in a, what do you call it? Like a box, a mystery box from ColourPop. And I really like this one. I like how muted and then it goes to deep muted shades. Just, it's really nice. It's a 3 pressed glitters though. We didn't need all that. We didn't need it, but I'm still gonna keep this. This one sat in my drawer and I totally forgot that I had and then decided, oh my gosh, I gotta use it, but it took me a year. I finally did. Okay, I only got rid of 1 palette so far. Terry, this was not cutthroat. Okay, these are not going anywhere. These are the Huda Beauty. The brand is gone anyway, but these are so delicious. These are their all shimmer palettes that were sold exclusively at Ulta. This one is Coastal Lights, which has all satin shimmers. None of them are very chunky the way that these ones are. Jungle Lights, Desert Lights, Garden Lights. These are stunning. These are not even drugstore quality. These are like indie brand quality. So unless they start growing something, I'm not getting rid of any of these. They're so good. They're a little treasure. Okay, so I just got rid of one. That's fine, that's fine. Let's keep going. Okay, this is actually just one drawer and I took a look at the rest of the drawer. So let's set the expectations moving forward, okay? I want to do that. I started to look at it and I was like, oh damn, I'm kind of in trouble because I did cut down a lot of the palettes that I really wasn't using last year. Even though it wasn't a lot, I'm definitely narrowed down more in that area than I kind of thought I would be. So I don't know if a lot of these are gonna go. We'll get like 1 to 3 palettes from each pile, I can predict. So like set your expectations there. This is gonna be a lot of like collection style. All right, let's go over the everything ABH. This one is the Fall Romance palette. Very grungy, you know, different matte formula from them, but I did enjoy it. You know, desaturated shades in this kind of color story. You've seen it over and over in my collection. It's good with this fun pop of color that I pair with the crimson shade when I use this palette, so I don't hate it. I'm not mad at it. I like it. The Cosmos palette from ABH is another desaturated one, but it's also pops of very deep colors. These two shades together are very nice. Otherwise, it's very light on the color story. I kind of wish there was one more deep shade instead of these like 3 very light shades. You know, this is mid-tone, these 3 lights. I just wish there was one more mid-tone shade or one more deepening shade even. That would have been nice in this palette. Quality, I think, was good. The Nouveau palette, also very desaturated. Like these 3, I just felt like they were all very, very lightly pigmented. And again, I would have liked another mid-tone or deep shade in this palette. That would have made a big difference for me. I liked the formulation. The Soft Glam palette, this is still so amazing. I'm sorry, it's warm toned, but it's smoky and I just love it. And this palette doesn't have what the small, where's the mini? The Soft Glam 2 is in here somewhere. Not this one. I have another one. Hello, guys. Am I losing my mind? Oh, it's at the bottom. It's under the Sultry palette. Okay. Ooh, that was a lot. Okay, so the Soft Glam 2 has this Dreamer shade that comes from a different palette that I don't have, and I love this shade, and this one doesn't have it, and Glistening and Fairy are way too similar, but I love both. I broke this shade here, Sultry, which is in this palette. Listen, I'm so sorry. I love traveling with this one, and I love reaching for this one so much more than this one. Ask me why. I don't know, because this is the curated color story of my little dreams here if I'm going like smoky neutrals. So I don't want to get rid of the Soft Glam, but look what I did. Look what I did. Because of the Sultry shade I broke when it first, actually I think my daughter or son broke it when I first hauled it like 5 years ago. This is on sale right now at Sephora. The Soft Glam 2 is only like 22 bucks where it's normally 32. So I replaced it. If that's crazy, I'm sorry, but I did it. I did it. I said I was going to. I waited for it to be on sale. So I'm going to pass the old one along with the broken shade, and I'm going to hold on to this one, and I'm going to use it again too. It's going to go into my new palettes. I just like traveling with this one. It's so much easier to take than this one, but I don't want to get rid of it. And it's like one of the palettes of like the older ones that they still make and still sell. The Sultry palette, they do not. This is still great smoky, but this one's like cool tones, where the other one, I think like Soft Glam, is a warmer toned smoky neutrals. Wow, there goes my family just getting wild. I quite like this. The only thing with this one is the shimmers. Some of them look very similar on the eyes. Like that's kind of the only thing. I think they were going for different ones, but Teak and Cinder, you know, they kind of look the same on the eyes, you know? That's kind of the only thing. All right, actually, Born This Way, the Sunset Stripped, I barely reached for this. It's nice neutrals. It is. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep this one, to be honest with you. It's just, Too Faced formula is not my favorite, and I would reach for other ones over that one for sure. And the Mariali Amor Caliente palette, again, Too Faced is not my favorite formulation, and I don't see myself reaching for this one either. Like, I like the hot and spicy shade, you know, like for the outer corner, like it's not bad. Let's see some of these shimmers, you know, are some of these decent? They're okay. They're not terrible. This sparkly one looks like a pressed glitter. Oh, it is. Oh, well, am I not even in frame, basically? These two shades look super similar. Like, I'm not sure. Hold on. I like neutral tones, but I tell you what, I actually do mix them with like pops of color. I feel like I do want to try this one at least one more time before I get rid of it. You can't get that palette anymore. What do I want to go through? Oh, I never finished my ABH. I think I have one more. This one is the Metals, Rose Metals palette. I think I liked this one the least because I feel like these are a little bit crumbly. Are we not focused here? What's happening? Hello? There we go. She focused. I think these are just like a little bit crumbly and not super light reflecting, but the color story is okay. This one is just very shimmer heavy. You only have 4 mattes. Like that's kind of the only thing with this, but still would keep. And then Ace Beauty, I did get rid of 2 of the palettes that I had from them, but this one I love. I love the color story here. I'm getting some hard panning in this one. Who knows what's going on with this brand, but it's definitely a color story that I really enjoy. That's the Mystic Romance one, and that was a release in 23 or 24, so it was like they did come out with something. And then Patrick Ta, let's see the state of this. This one is the Major Dimension 2 one, which was like the rosy one. Not a thing. How come everybody gets that shit? You know, like these shadows go moldy and I don't see a thing in mine. I don't think I've ever seen moldy in mine. I've never even used these 2 shimmers. I said that last declutter. So, because she's still good, she stays. All right, the Nabla Dreamy palette. Yeah, for whatever reason, I get really attached to the 2 Nabla palettes I still have left. I decluttered a bunch last time, but I get attached to these ones because they're very wearable. That's the Dreamy one, did I say that? And then the side by side. This one's more warm toned, but also cool tones, like it's a mixture. I think it's still really good, so I want to hold on to it. The Be Mine palette in the deep color story from Sydney Grace. It's my only Sydney Grace palette, so for that reason I wouldn't declutter it. I would hold on to it, but it's also a color story that I really like. Some of the shimmers do look pretty similar. And I think this is the only Lunar Beauty palette I have. Not that the formula is bad or anything, because I think it's like the shimmers are just amazing. And the mattes are really good too. I just never got into the brand. The Nude Prism palette, I'm gonna keep it. Nudie 2, I did get rid of Nudie 1. This is a very wearable, very good quality neutral palette. So good. Like curated down to what I would really like. So I'm not getting rid of that one. The Lorac ones I really like. Like I'm looking at all these ones that I keep going, I'm gonna keep. They're also freaking neutral as part of the reason that they stay. These are my wearable ones. So if I get rid of them, do I have any more office appropriate, everyday kind of appropriate ones? I don't know. That one is very warm toned. Fairy Tale Forest. It's also warm toned, but it's got more cool tones. Some of these shimmers look so similar, but we're keeping those. I only got rid of 1, I told you guys. All right, Melt Cosmetics. These are the only 2 palettes I have from Melt. I never got into this brand either, and I think some of their better ones were releases before I got into eyeshadow. I have had such a fun time with this freaking color story, so I don't care. Like, people had mixed emotions about these, said that they weren't the greatest, but I had a lot of fun. A lot of my looks were like delicious with these ones. That one is the Air one from the Bad Side Zodiac collection that came out with the 4 earth signs. This one too, look at that grungy deliciousness. I definitely am holding on to that. All right, the Wander Beauty formula. Do you see it? Do you see this very sparkly shade on Holiday? It's one of the reasons that I never get rid of this palette because it's so pretty. Let's look at the Wanderous Escape. No, they're so good. Neutral palettes. So good, but not like all brown. You've got other things going on. Purples and pops of blue. See, that's what I really like. Neutrals with pops of color. I don't want it all neutral, which I think is what I was kind of getting with this, which is okay. I'm just not blown away by the Too Faced formula. Wander Beauty is thinner and more desaturated, but the shimmers are better. So I'm keeping the Wanderous Escape and the Sweet Escape. I really like these. These were not like individually purchased palettes. They were part of, caught up in Boxy Charms a long time ago. All right, the Black Magic palette from Oma Beauty. These are delicious. Like Oma Beauty eyeshadow formula, they should come out with more, and then maybe more people would buy them because I think the formula is great. And my last KKW palette, I still like this. Very wearable, very everyday, yes. And I feel like these are magnetic too. I mean, the packaging is just quite sturdy on this. Oh, I'm wrong. We ended up getting rid of these too. So I told you guys 1 to 3 palettes. All right, I'm about 90% certain none of these are going. I mean, these are like, obviously, if you're looking at them, like more of my indie brand eyeshadows, and they're pretty curated. I think I got rid of all the ones from like my hauls in 23 that I didn't really like, or 24 that I really didn't like, from these like indie brand stacks. So, I mean, I'm about 99% certain none of these are gonna go. All right, these are from Unique Beauty that you can't get anymore. These were amazing. These were some of my favorite formulations. These are very hard to get open. The shimmer quality and the matte quality in these is great. Very warm toned color story, and two of the oranges look pretty similar on the eyes, but I will never get rid of these ever. They're so good. This is a nothing shade for me, but if I could do a look with these and like show you guys how great these are, that would be great. But these came out and these were their last releases, and they came in like a set of, I think they had 3. I'm sorry, the light is like blinding you. This one is Everyday Diva. This was their all shimmer, which is so delicious. Most of these are multi-chromes and or duochromes. It's giving main character. Unique Beauty, I wish you would come back because you are so freaking good. And I wish I could have promoted the brand more. I really do. For a while when they released these, even though they kind of closed their main shop, they were selling on like their sister brand site, and then that pulled. You can only get them on Instagram, but they're so damn good. Not a deepening shade in this entire palette for sure, but the quality of this is so good. I feel like some of the binding oils are like gone out of this one, but they still look good. The rest of them are right here, the ones that I have from Unique Beauty. The Tribes palette, this shade is so beautiful, and it came broken. So, I mean, it's not like, you know, that just happened or anything. I've been dealing with that for a while, but look at that color story. Warm, delicious. Oh, I just dropped one of the palettes. Thank God I have carpet here. Let's hope. Please, please. These are all hand pressed, so they're so fragile. Anyway, delicious color story. Then here is Africa. I think this is volume 1. Look at that. Gosh. Ooh, the shimmers are so good. This one is Pamper Me. This one's the weirdest one, like in terms of the matte formulations. I hit pan on that one. Like, I really like that shade. It's mushy too. Again, the shimmer formula is just so great. This pan is like popping out even. These are just like delicious little hand pressed palettes. And I wish this brand, I wish they did their thing. The Me, Myself, and I, kind of a weird color story, and these ones are like super deep inset in the pan when they built this palette itself. This one is the volume, I think it's China volume 1. I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. Anyway, those are all staying. This one is called the Extravaganza palette by Sugar Rock. Now this one's an interesting, it's like not a color story, you know, obviously, that I would wear on an everyday basis, but the shimmers are so delicious that I'm so willing to deal with it. And Sugar Rock is a Sea Beauty brand, and these mattes, they're so thin that they're only good for packing. That's pretty much it. I just could never blend these shades out because they would start like skipping and fading and looking very patchy. But if you're gonna do a packed look, which sometimes I do, where I just deepen in the outer corner and then kind of like throw a shimmer all over, that's my style, I think it works just fine. I like having this one. I would like to try more from Sugar Rock. From DD Signature, the Ultimate Cappuccino palette, one of my favorites. Did it rank my favorite for last year? Probably. It's just so delicious. The color story is really good. You got deepening shades in here, and these shimmers were so delicious. I think the lighting in here is probably up so high that like you can't necessarily see just how delicious these shimmers are, but it's like fiery. This one is like gold and like pink and like orange. It's so pretty. This is a duochrome, which is blue to green. Can you see that? I don't know. Sparkly. Like, every one of these is so good, and the mattes are so delish. So delish. All right, another one from Kaima Cosmetics. The Skulls and Roses palette is my first palette from them, but so grungy. And this one's like a holochrome black. Ew, 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 ew. So good. And then from Artitude Cosmetics, I told you guys I was really interested in trying more from this brand. This was the first palette that I tried from them, the Obsession palette. And now I have the vintage neutrals coming, so I'm very excited to try more from them. They're good. They're straightforward. Like, whatever you see is what you get. No fuss, no muss. Okay? So delightful. There is no surprises. All right, Gimme Glow Cosmetics. This is the Mystic Garden palette. If it's not on straight, I had to re-glue this with like nail glue this morning because it kept falling off. I love this palette. I love all my Gimme Glows. I do. Not enough people talk about Gimme Glow Cosmetics. I just freaking love them because I just don't think they send like a lot of PR to brands, or to people rather, not to brands. So I don't think they get as much like attention because people don't feel, I don't know. I just love their color stories. I think the quality of everything, again, is like what you see is what you get. It's how it is. I love that these operate in like 4s, and it kind of makes sense. They didn't put the colors in different places. They put them in the same place. So I don't know. Gimme Glow matte formula is really good. Shimmer formula is like that kind that just drags down your entire arm. The shimmer is just so intense. So good in formulation, in my opinion. All right, this one from Huda Beauty Shop. I would like to try more from this brand, Simplicity. Now, these are very, very hard pressed matte shades, and not a lot picks up on them with a brush. And you do get some interesting pops of color, and it's more muted and like all the things, but the shimmers are so good that it just works. Sometimes, you know, I wear more shimmer than I wear matte, so I'm like okay with it. Sometimes I just use the matte as an accent instead of a shimmer as an accent. Does that make sense? Do you guys do that? Oh, look at those 2 shades. When it goes into the shadow, oh, so yeah, want to try more from that brand. Don't know what they're doing. Diaverin Cosmetics, the Gloomy Gardens palette. Again, what you see is what you get. I like that they don't have shade names, so you can move these around if you really wanted. I don't know, to me that's kind of cool. I mean, how could you be mad at that color story? You know what I'm saying? How could you be mad at it? So good. My only palette from Terra Moon Cosmetics is the Space Chemistry palette. What are you throwing the mattes in for? Just get the mattes out. Weird mattes. Didn't like the mattes. Very powdery. Didn't blend great. Terra Moon has like the sparkly-ist ass shades ever, and they have a couple of new releases, but I wanted to get it. It's just that they're so expensive because the shimmer formulations. They're mostly all shimmer palettes. It's kind of like Adept Cosmetics. Like they're just expensive, like Inslee Rain, but at least you get mattes with them. Anyway, I struggled with these a little bit, but I would have preferred that the mattes not even be in here because they weren't good quality, if that makes sense. Like they could have been good as like an accent shade, as I was saying before, but I don't think they were great quality. But I like the shimmer formulation, so there you go. All right, Rebel Rouge Labs. Would like to try it more from this brand too. I don't know what they're doing. You know, you never kind of know what's gonna happen. Like some of these are so tall that I don't know, like get away, go. There's just a lot going on here. All right, the Rebel Rouge Labs palette. Why it performs so well, I don't know. I put some really great looks together with this palette, so I'm not letting it go. And the reason I kept the sleeve is because inside is different than outside, so it had to be done. All right, the rest of my Glam Light palettes, the Chucky one, which kicked off kind of my obsession with well, not obsession, my love for Glam Light, I should say. They've had a lot of releases that were in like the horror film theme recently, but you saw the 2 that I just recently hauled. I just don't purchase a lot from the brand, partly because I don't see when the releases come out. Otherwise I probably would, but this is like my all grungy palette, like all deep tones, like 1 or 2 mid-tone or transition shades. It just, when I want something like this is really good. And then this one I still feel like you can get, the Strawberry Shortcake Berry Licious palette, which is surprising because it's such an older release, but the sparkly shades are delish. A little bit too bright for me, but I wouldn't get rid of it because the sparkly shades are so, look at that. Look, the pink is an overspray, okay? But it's still sparkly underneath. But yeah, the green, you see the green? Like, oh, okay. All right, let's do my Game Beauty. This is another brand that I love because they send me PR occasionally. They just asked me if I wanted their lip brush and then sent me, without me even knowing, their Street Fighter lips. And I have a discount code with this brand too. The Street Fighter lip stick collection. And I was like, oh, you know what? I love you. That is so sweet. They were one of the first brands to send me PR in the indie realm. And then it was GD Signature. So when I'm thinking about where I want to go ahead and just like promote, that's where I'm going to go. These brands are actually like decent and nice. And yeah, I'm going to keep supporting them. I'll keep swiping my card. So for that reason, I wouldn't get rid of it. Probably not a palette that I love, love, love. I don't think I hate it. I'm holding this backwards, but like, I don't think I hated the color story, but I will say that the shimmer formula was not my favorite. I much preferred, they're manufactured in different places too, these palettes here. These are manufactured in China, and these ones are actually made in Italy, which is surprising, but I prefer the ones that were manufactured in China over the 10 pans here. these little trifolds. That one was the Adventure palette, and this is the Harbinger palette. I did take a look on their website, and I want to get more. Like, I will buy more from the brand. I didn't even know they had the Street Fighter collection. Guys, listen, I was a kid when Street Fighter came out, and I played the shit out of that game. I was so good. If I had known they had a Street Fighter collection, I would have gotten it straight for nostalgia, okay? I don't know why I said it like that, but nostalgia. This one, I liked the shimmers more in this one. I didn't even know. I'm so mad. But these ones are my favorite. The quality on this was just so good. These mattes are buttery. I love buttery mattes. So pretty. So I'm not getting rid of these either. Again, discount code with this brand. I am very excited to try those lippies. The shimmers in here are so good, but the mattes are so buttery. I'm not even telling you the names. I'm just getting so excited. Elemental Blast collection. This is Geo, Pyro, Dendro. I was close. Dang it. Look at those. Look at those. That's an iridescent multi-chrome too. Oh, there's no mirror. I can't show you. But very buttery in the formulation. I just prefer this formulation over the other ones. All right, my favorite neutral or nude palette is from Gloss Gods. It's the Let's Get Nude. Stop it. Let me show you the sparkly. Ooh, you guys. This is so good. It is so good. You can't get this palette anymore, but favorite neutral palette ever. All right, Menagerie Cosmetics. This is the Killer Purr palette. You know, I didn't love the quality of this. I didn't. These mattes were very, very patchy on me. But the reason that I kept this was from this draught shade right here. You know what? Let's do that thing again to see if this is magnetic because it feels so freaking heavy, and see if I can pull this shadow out. I mean, I probably... I have to keep this shade from Menagerie. This draught shade is so amazing. I don't like the mattes. I'm sorry. I want to buy more from Menagerie, but I think I'm going to just declutter this because I know I won't reach for it outside of that shade. That shade was amazing. I'm going to pass this along. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I keep reaching into this one, so I might as well just like show you. This is some of my singles. These are all of my Divina Cosmetics on the right and my Oden's Eye on the left. This Logan multi-chrome from Oden's Eye is fabulous. This one here, this flaky, delicious purple blue, it's like a holochrome from Divina, Cleona, sorry, is amazing. Yeah, these are so good. These are my kind of colors. In singles, I will go very purple and very blue. I'm gonna throw this Menagerie one in here. Maybe I should write on the back of it. Well, I'm not going to. I think I'll remember that it's Menagerie. They're just my preference. I got a lot of these because I was into very fiery shades, but I definitely prefer singles that are blue purple. I wish I could like show you a little bit more about like what these ones kind of look like. Just seems like the lights are up so freaking bright in here. Like maybe you can kind of see it a little bit more. Look how similar these two shades are to one another. It's definitely my preference. So I'm gonna keep it over here. I'm just kind of like throwing my magnet in with the palette. So if I come across any more, where's my other Menagerie? Here it is, the Arthurine palette. I didn't love this one either. I think I liked this one a little bit more, but the mattes were not the greatest for me. I think I'll hold on to this for one more year. I would like to see what else Menagerie does. I haven't seen anything. We'll keep Sigma over there. I haven't seen anything released from them. From MBA Cosmetics, I just bought another palette from them today. They were having their end of the year sale, so one of their palettes, which was normally $50, was on sale for 30 bucks, and they have rebranded too. Good for you, MBA. Good for you. Not that their formula was bad, because this is a beautiful autumn palette. Pumpkin Kisses and Autumn Wishes. I got a very similar color story today, but their packaging has improved and their formulations look like it is improved. So I'm happy to see that they're doing well too, because it's a brand that I have enjoyed. So I'm holding on to that one. The Dragon Fruit palette from Cleona. I lusted after this for so long, but I only like the multi-chromes. There's only a couple. 1, 2, 3. I think those are the 3. The other ones are satins, and they're all right. I'm just not as like super impressed with shades that don't flip and they're more like satins. But because I lusted after it and because it's like you can't get it anymore, I'm pretty sure, I'm not getting rid of it. All right, It's Belle Cosmetics, the Pixie Grove palette. Such a shame that this brand went bye-bye because this palette is delicious. Delicious. These two are so hard to see, but they're the translucent, iridescent, like duochromes up top. But the formulation on this is just so damn good. So I'm not getting rid of it even though they're gone. All right, Danessa Myricks Light Work palette or Lightworks palette. What is it? Light Work? Yes, Light Work. This one is the I Am palette. This is volume 5. You know, this one isn't bad. And I get so much FOMO about not picking up more of the Lightwork palettes. I think that like this is probably more exciting for me to spend this kind of money for all shimmers. So I'm gonna hold on to it. Still indie brand. The Druid palette. It's time to get rid of the sleeve. From Fantasy Cosmetica. Really good. Really good color story, really good formulation. Not overly light reflecting, and there's kind of only one in here that's more of a translucent shimmer. I would prefer like more of those, but you know, you're dealing with a 9-pan. I want more from Fantasy Cosmetica too, so now I only have 2 palettes from them, or now I have 2 palettes. This one is this is Saint Angel Sinners, and it's the Reckless palette. Yes. Here's the other palette that I was talking to you guys about that I have from the brand, and it's such a shame that the owner is a cray-cray because this formula is delish. The shimmers are delish, the color story is weird, but the formulation is just absolutely fantastic. So this one was in collaboration with Calvin Brockington Artistry, like he did the art on this, but the formulation was so good. Not even look like it, but I tell you guys right now, like the way that these mattes performed was spectacular. So I'm not gonna get rid of it, even though I wouldn't buy any more, even if they came out with more. All right, Unearthly Cosmetics, Spring Magic. It's okay. It's okay. I created a really, really good blue look. The mattes in here, they do perform really well. The shimmers are not bad. You've got like 1 multi-chrome and 2 duochromes, I think. I think I just wish I got as excited about this one because I think it was like $79 as I do with like some of these palettes from them. I thought that they were like, better quality or just I guess maybe more exciting. I think that's kind of what it boiled down to. It's not bad at all, but it was like such a high price point. $79? I don't know. I guess I want more variety in the shimmers, essentially, I think is what it boils down to for 79 bucks. That's how I feel about it. But these ones I really enjoy from Unearthly. The Devour palette was the first palette that I tried from them. A lot of these are like more sparkly shades, like can you see? And then you get these iridescent multi-chromes over here that are just delicious and delightful. This one here, like a duochrome, like super fun. It's a deep color story, like don't get me wrong, but I just got more excited. Don't Be Jelly, kind of the same thing. This one right here is like a little bit more chunky and sparkly. And these, I don't know, I liked the quality of this in this format from Unearthly than, oh, this is remastered, by the way, than the Spring Magic one. Fall Magic. Hello, so good. These ones, they're maybe a little bit more like the Spring Magic one, but I feel like they're more sparkly than those. And I like the color story better than Spring Magic. My very first Kryptine Cosmetics palette was the Burnt Forest palette. It was my favorite. It was my favorite for the year when it came out, and I think it was 23. And I even hit pan in this one. Like, it obviously came with a ton of binding oils and it fell apart, so I didn't get all of the shade back in. And since then, they come with like covers over them during shipping because it's all international shipping because it's C Beauty. But since then, great. Best C Beauty brand that I have found, honestly, because of the matte formulation is the best that I have found. So anyway, delicious in Kryptine Cosmetics formula. I would get so much more. All right, from Sigma, the Rosy Eyeshadow Palette. How similar is this to the new mod? Like, are we getting in like super similar territory? Because then I don't really need to keep both. I think this is just a condensed version of this, if I'm being honest. The only like difference I can see is this shade right there, which do I need it? I don't really think so. These ones are too similar, but like, you know, they're the kind of like purple replacement for that. I just think that would come out like too pink on me. I'm gonna pass along the Rosy eyeshadow palette and just keep the new mod. Look, I got rid of one. And then the Corderosa, beautiful warm tone deliciousness. I like that Sigma is reliable, and I like that the shimmer formulation is wearable. That's just how I feel about the Sigma formula. It reminds me a lot of Milani. You can kind of just count on it. It's not your super foily chunkiness, but like it's good. So that's the thing about Sigma, I think, that is attractive. And then here is the Alice in Wonderland one. I haven't purchased anything since this one released, and it released in 23, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, it was 22 when this came out. This was 22. I remember because I did haul this, back when my dad passed. This was I crashed out and bought so much things to make myself feel better purchase when my dad was passing. You ever like crash out like that? You just black out because you're like, you need the therapy. Oh my god, it's so bad. But yeah, so this is going nowhere. And it was like the first time I saw Sigma do colors. So that's gonna stay. All right, we got rid of, oh no, we got rid of 2 from this. Told ya, 1 to 3. I don't think I'm getting rid of any one of these palettes. This is the last of all of my indie brands that I had like in the indie brand drawers. I need some room. Like I'm always feeling a little cramped and crowded. So let's go ahead and push those there. All right, Bella Beauty Bar, the Strange and Unusual. I'm gonna get rid of the sleeve now. This is a Strange and Unusual palette and very dark, but like, stop it. So good. This is like my very first palette from Bella Beauty Bar, I feel like, which kind of made me fall in love with the formula. And this multi-chrome here, like you can't even see it. It looks gross and dirty, but it's like a purple blue, which is kind of my favorite. So good. Holding on to the Ghost Town USA, my very first Nomad palette. And I lusted after this palette for so long and waited for its re-release and got it on the day that it re-released because the color story looked so good. But then I was like, oh, yeah, these are kind of thin mattes and they were like a little bit muddy on me. Because they're so desaturated, you run that risk, I think, when they're very thin, very creamy formulations. I didn't love the way that this performed, but you guys, this is the only Nomad palette I have tried all the way through. I have 3 of them or 4 of them. Was there one other one that I've tried from Nomad? No, I think this is it. You saw the Okavango Safari, and then what was the other one that I purchased? Just haven't gotten into the brand a ton. I still love the ones that I love, and I know they've had so many releases, but I backed off of eyeshadows all of 2025 as much as I could until like probably the end of the year, when that's when I started buying all of those palettes, I'm gonna say. So anyway, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Nomad formula. Gimme Glow, Haunted Pumpkin. I don't think you're gonna see me get rid of Gimme Glow. It's probably just not gonna happen because I love how rich the mattes are, how creamy they are, how blendable, and the shimmer formulation, even though they're very pigmented, you don't get like a lot of, well, any really, like translucent colored shimmers where you don't get a really strong base, but more of a sparkle and a flip. These are all very pigmented and very intentional colors. I still think they're some of the best, creamiest shimmer formulation. The Vintage Rose, like, can you deny the color story? I think this one is a little bit different. They came out with this like later. I don't think you can get the Vintage Rose or the Christmas Morning anymore, but I won't be getting rid of any of my Gimme Glow formulation. Really good, really, I'm just such a Gimme Glow fan. Okay, the Basic Witch palette. Maybe this was the first one that I tried for Bella Beauty Bar that made me fall in love with the brand because the quality of this was just so good. And I bought this to try it because it was one of the few palettes at the time that was like available for purchase, but not a color story that I love. I kind of like these muted tones at the bottom, but the purples in the middle in terms of like the mattes are not my favorite. I've never decluttered a Bella Beauty Bar palette and I never will. No, wait, was this my first palette from Bella Beauty Bar? Yes, the Star-Crossed Lovers. This is the palette that made me fall in love with the brand. She has gone and done something so much different since the release of this. Like her formulation was good. Oh, there's like a little fly in here. And this is so leaked, but like it stepped up. Such a good introduction to indie shadows. And I think it was like one of my very first ones. This one ranked #1 in 22? Was it 23? Now I don't even know. My Kaleidos 5 pans. I'm not getting rid of these. I've already gotten rid of the ones that I wanted to. This is Sashimi City. This is volume 7. I did get rid of 1 last year, I think, or 2 last year. This is just good in neutrals. And you know what? The brand is... like, they came out with lip products, but the whole set was like 70, 80 bucks. And I was like, damn. And like, after all this time, you're going to come out with lip products and not, even though Kaleidos can do really good lip products, like you're not going to come out with a palette that you know we all want. Futurism 3, Astro Pink. I'm going to break a nail trying to get these open. I like neutral, like listen to my house, you guys. They're basically entertainment of their own at this point. Neutrals with pops of color. So it's like wearable. I just like the transition shades with the deepening shades. And then the Futurism 5 Electro Turquoise. This one's just interesting and different. And I really enjoy this blue shimmer. I like a lot of shimmers like that. I'm wearing one on my eyes right now that's like similar. And it's like the one I popped out of Menagerie. To be honest with you, I'm drawn to shades like that. So a lot of these palettes that have those, they end up staying. All right, the Molten Chromes from Bella Beauty Bar went with the Molten Matte palette that I didn't buy. I bought this just by itself. You know, some of these are, I don't know. I don't know. This was expensive for 6 multi-chromes. They're not even all multi-chromes, just chromes. Yeah, it was okay. I kind of like the fiery shades, but it's a really long pan, difficult to store. And as far as like an all shimmer palette, you know, I would have shaped this palette differently if it was me. But it's Bella Beauty bar. I'm not getting rid of it. Let's leave Odin's Eye over there. Okay, Cosmic Brushes. This was my first, well, it was Cosmic Brushes then. This was my first palette. And I'm not gonna say like it was bad, but the mattes for me were patchy. These tones came out so different. Like this one came out blue on my eyes and this one came out like brown. And I think it's meant to be like a purple, but it's like a deep plum shade. That's what it is. It's called Fig, right? Like you can kind of guess. And some of these shimmers were super dry. But since then, I feel like I liked the neutrals and the cool neutrals better. Like I didn't have the same issues that I had with this one. Drier shimmers, shades coming out different on me and then coming out patchy. But the color story in this one was so good. This Muse shade, look at it. Stop yourself. Stop yourself. So pretty. And it's not like, you know, I want to complain about, oh, there's too much binding oil and then some of them are dry. It's just, it is what it is. But it was affordable. Odin's Eye over there. All right, my 2 Beauty Bay palettes, the Reckless Romance. Reminds me a lot of like Glamlight formula and Sigma formula, which is like just kind of standard shimmer metallic shades, but they perform, you know, they're trusty. The mattes in here are just really, really good. And I think this was my first, this was in 22 when I got this, when it released. Again, one of my, like during my crash out, I feel like I bought this. The Dark Fantasy. This one was so much better, I think, because there was differences. Like the shimmers here, some of them are a little bit more chunky and a little bit more foily. This is a deep dark color story, but guys, I get excited. I get excited. That's all that it has to be. Just get me excited and I'm fine. All right, Adept. Here's my Glaminatrix. What else do I have? Gourmand Girls is here. These are my last 2 Adept palettes. I want to try more from this brand, but you know, they come and go so fast and they're so expensive that I really don't have time to spend $103 on an eyeshadow palette or, you know, $90 or whatever. They're very expensive, especially because they've changed the packaging. Ninhydrin, gorgeous. Mattes, leave them out. Didn't need them. Probably only that one. That one, I don't know. I don't really like it. It's weird. It's weird. But mattes, leave them. Leave them. Don't put them in here. You can see I liked the ACD 18, whatever that stands for. I like the packaging of this. I wish they would do more of those instead of, I don't know, these sizes are cool too, but now they've done like the hardcover like Natasha has done. This one is the Flying Fiddles. I think they claim to do their first like neutral palette. Leave the mattes. They were so patchy in this for me. So patchy. I think it's okay that you throw them in there. I think they need to perfect the matte formula and maybe they've done so much better. I mean, the problem is I really haven't tested them. Here is the rest of my Glaminatrix. So good. The Nocturnal. This is the mini version. Came out with this one in a bigger version, took it away, and then came back out with this one in the small version. So that's when I picked it up. So delicious. Sugar and Spice. Oh, this was my very first Glaminatrix palette, or was the Nearly Natural? I think this was second. I think they did the Nearly Natural first. This formulation, oh my God. The sparkles, the soft multi-chrome, the iridescent multi-chrome, so good. Weird color story. But again, this is where I think mattes become accents to the shimmers. So really good. Nearly Natural ranked number 1 in 22? 21? No, 22 or 23. It was probably 23. I can't even remember now, but this is what made me fall in love with Glaminatrix, was like, oh my, you can do it deliciously. The mattes are really good. The shimmers are really good. Oh, so good. The quality just, when it performs and you put it on your eyes, you're like, oh my God. You can tell the difference between other palettes. All right, my Gourmand Girls. Radioactive is an all shimmer palette. You've got some multi-chromes in here. You can't even tell that they're multi-chromes. This to me looks brown, but to you it looks green. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to it. Silent Night. These are the ones that the quality is just so freaking good in here. These mattes are buttery, soft, delicious. They blend perfectly. These 2 shades look so similar. Like, are there really that much difference between the 2 matte shade or shimmer shades? I don't know. This is my favorite Gourmand Girls palette. favorite. Because if I'm doing a blue, I want it to be a deep ass blue. I don't like bright blues on me. I also don't like bright greens on me. But the yellows in here with the blues, there is something so delicious about that. Haunted, this is a beautiful grungy color story. And the pops of yellow and orange were so complimentary for like inner corner, and you know, you can put that all down and then blend it in with one of these other colors like on top, and this like fade it into these looks so good. These two were my favorite formulations of all the Gourmand Girls palettes that I've tried. All right, Ensley Rain, the Flutter palette. I loved this. I loved this desaturated fairy grungy palette. Performed really, really well. Every Ensley Rain palette does not surprise me. They're all identical. So Golden Hour, I'm pretty sure that is a multi-chrome, but it's straight up like a holochrome too. So good. I enjoyed that a lot. All right, here's all my Odin's Eye. You know, I want to collect more from Odin's Eye, and so many palettes I've released, I don't know why I don't build my collection with more. And they re-released all the Christmas ones, and I want to try them all. I don't know why I just don't get super excited though. Like, I want to collect them because everyone likes them, but some of them just don't perform as good as others. I'm sorry. Mighty Monster palette, this was in collaboration with Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. I actually really liked this. I thought these interesting pops of color, like these two shades together looked really good with these two. This one looked good with that. This looked good with those. Those look good with that. Like, to me, this made sense. I heard some people say like, oh, it's an interesting color story. It's like, dude, I see looks in everything here. Okay, you can do this as a transition, that in the outer corner with that shade. This one looks good with that one. Like, make it a complementary matte, or you know, like a little side piece. So I really enjoyed this. This was the only one that I picked up from that collaboration. I have two. Don't I have another one from Angelica Neekfest from Odin's Eye? Maybe not. Maybe I just picked up the Hella palette. Listen, I like Angelica. I thought this one was like better than some of the mushy ass shades. Let me show you that they sometimes can do. Like, these are mushy and they're not, here. They're not as smooth. They're kind of, when I say piecey, they don't stick together super duper well. What Angelica, I think, did here was these are like, they're more put together. Do you see this is almost like a pressed glitter? These are more put together, and I think on all her palettes, that's how they came. I think the inconsistencies with Odin's Eye has been this kind of like chunky formula where I've kind of been like, listen, I'm gonna have to pick at it to kind of make it work, and you have to use it with a warm finger, otherwise it's not gonna work. And even then, you know, it's just kind of glittery and like doesn't stay together super well. Do you see how it like runs out of steam? So like, that has been my criticisms of Odin's Eye formulation, but Angelica, I feel like she knew that was happening, and then she formulated these to be different than that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that these palettes were good for that reason. I don't know that this is like my favorite color story. There's a lot going on here. You get the pinks, you get one purple, and then a lot of grungy tones. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I think the quality in it was delicious. All right, but the quality and the shimmer formula in the Merry Christmas palette from their very first Christmas release was stunning. I think even though you got some foilied ones, they weren't that weird piecey. Like, it's piecey, but not in the same way. Like, this is not something that runs out of steam like a weird glittery shade. They just performed really well, even though there's differences. Like, this was a damn good one. It's what made everyone go, oh my God, give me more. All right, these ones right here are from the, I can't even remember what the series was called, from Odin's Eye. The Flora Story palette with Makeup Just for Fun. This is good. This is good. This is decent. I like that there's this shade in here, which is like a translucent multi-chrome. I think it's a multi-chrome, could be a duochrome. It's a little bit desaturated. I don't like true purples in the outer corner very much. And so a lot of these are like, I'm a shimmer heavy palette with like, I think like, you know, make a little side piece on the mattes, but it's good. I think the one from Laura May Beauty is my least favorite. Like, I like her the most, you know, as a content creator. This pink is out of place for me. This one is great, I guess, as a single or an inner corner shade if you're gonna do like a blue look, but I think I really enjoyed this shade. You can kind of see I've dug into this one. The Mermaid Scale, I don't even think I've used this neutral quad over here, to be honest with you. I was just focusing on all these shades, which is strange. Actually, this one I think is probably the hardest one for me to work with, because this is bright. And this one is the Planet Spirit palette from Betty Jean. Very bright, very bright. Yeah, I think these ones I got to support the creators mostly. I do not really reach for these as like standalone palettes, if you will. These shimmers are, with the exception of this one, they stand on their own quite a bit. I know that Laura likes this shade a lot. I need to dig into the neutrals on this. I just really enjoy this shade. I could definitely see I was going into that palette just for that. All right, I'm probably gonna go spend some money after this video. The Jewels and Gem palette from Odin's Eye. I know, why? Why, Carrie? You know, this was very cool toned and they came out with another one at the same time, which was green, and they still have it available. See how some of these are piecey and dry? Like sometimes they don't do the greatest formulation with some of the shimmers. They're dry. Anyway, the one that was the green color story, I can't even remember what it was called, that came out with this one at the same time. Like now, I would totally reach for that one more so than this one, but at the time, this one was much more wearable for me. Aside from that shade, I think all of these performed really well. This one here is crumbling a little, but I think it has more binding oils than this one does. Anyway, the Stone and Rock, I just remembered what it was called. We didn't get rid of a single palette there. We're gonna move on to, so sorry, this is like causing it to be blurry. Now we have Huda, Pat, Natasha. Okay, I lied. I also have MAC in here and 2 Bobbi Brown palettes. So I'm still gonna do the same thing. I need to get these the heck out of the way. Let's do these Bobbi Brown ones because they're so fun. This is like a satin shade, but these are super duper sparkly. Wow, the way he screams, like that is not fun to me, how he does that. It just makes my blood boil or like chills down my spine. Anyway, this is so nice. I'm not getting rid of these even though they're limited edition collection. This is like Lunar New Year. Luxe Eyeshadow Quad, it was the Lunar New Year. This is the same thing. They don't have names. They were 2 different years. Again, very satin shades, but so pretty on the sparkly shimmers as like one and dones. Just stop. In the middle shade's like a highlighter. All right, what are we gonna do next? Let's do Natasha, actually, because I'm not holding on to all of these. This, I have decided I'm not like a collector of Natasha, so I wanna get rid of the ones that I don't really want. Yeah, you're not gonna catch me reaching for these 2 like purples, and this is not a palette that I would travel with. This is one of the minis, the Mini Love palettes. So I'm gonna get rid of it. This one right here, I enjoy much more. Could see myself traveling with this one more than the other one. This is the Star palette. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. This one is the more recent release, not the most recent, but the one I picked up. This is the My Mini Dream palette, which one of these shades, this one right here, is not, or is in the original. I can't remember, but it's my favorite shade. Anyway, this was just like very useful as a neutral palette. You know, this one I'm on the fence about, the Mini Retro. I kind of like it, you know, but it's again where the mattes are just like you put it down and you're gonna wear the shimmer all by itself. I think I'll hold on to this one. But this one I got in a BoxyCharm. I held onto because I really enjoyed this yellow, and these blues were really fun, but I have not reached for this in so long, and I have other yellows that I really like. This is the Jubilee palette. A lot of these like individual, these bigger 5-pan small palettes, they come in like exclusive Ipsy boxes. And for a while I was like, oh, maybe I can get a lot more of them, but I don't reach for it, so I'm gonna let it go. Surprisingly, I will be letting go of some of these bigger ones, okay? Again, I have decided I'm not a collector and I don't want to hold on to the color stories that I don't like because I don't have them all. So the My Dream palette, probably my favorite or second favorite, I don't know. Delicious. It's my kind of color story overall. So this one for sure stays. The Yucca palette, this one could be my favorite or my second favorite. It was just so good, like muted tones, but the shimmers were so nice, like very, very good quality on this one, and different too, but very wearable too. Like it's such a desaturated green palette that it was super wearable, more wearable than you would think. So I really enjoyed this. Please leave the cream shades out, Natasha. I'm not a fan of those. And I feel like this one only had 1 cream, which is this one right here, which I was sad to say because it's one of the deepening shades, but I'm holding on to that one. The Golden palette, I don't love, but I don't hate at the same time. I just picked up because they have for sale right now the I Need a Warm palette, which I'm really excited about because I love warm tone shades, and it was like 55 bucks instead of 69, so that's coming from Sephora. I'm sorry, some of the stuff at Sephora, you know, when Lauren May Beauty posts that, I'm not surprised to see some stuff. Some of the stuff's okay. Some of the stuff isn't terrible. You just gotta sort through 1,000 products to find some of the good things. Anyway, I picked that one up. I'm gonna hold on to the golden one for now, but the Xenon palette, I don't know, I just bought this for content. I don't like this color story. This is not for me. The silvers I have elsewhere. The shimmers are the best thing about it. Like, am I gonna swatch this and then stop myself from decluttering it? Because these shades look so, oh, that's so, look how dry those are and how underwhelming. I don't like a grayish palette like this. I don't know that I needed this in my life, so I'm gonna pass it along. Then the I Need a Nude palette, it's good. It's kind of like rosy leaning if you want it to be. Again, the deepening shade is a cream, and I freaking hate these creams. I know some people like them. I like the shimmers more in here, but some of them are like hard panned. This Sheen shade, like what is that? What is happening? This Delilah shade is delicious though. Look at that. That's just a single one and done. But this one right here, like, oh, I'm gonna poke at it to get it. It's like hard panned basically. Oh, there it goes. I kind of picked it up. I kind of like this. I kind of like that it leans on like the rosy side. I just wish that one shade was not a cream in the deep shade. It's just not my thing. All right, the retro palette, one of my favorites. Again, speaking of rosy tones, this is delicious, and none of these had too much like binding oils, and none of them were dry. This was like the last time this formulation, I feel like, was stable. I feel like some of these were just kind of unstable, but so I'm gonna keep that one. The retro glam palette, this is not a color story for me. I never reach for this dang thing. I've probably put like 2 looks together and never touched this palette again, so I'm gonna pass that along. It's just not a color story for me. All right, these Connecting Color series from MAC. This one is Bronze Influence. These were the ones that I loved and held on to. Embedded in Burgundy was my favorite. These are the 6 pans. And then I have Encrypted Kryptonite. All right, what do I want to do with these? They're so satin and wedding appropriate. Okay, listen. This is like a full ass, like, it's like barely a shimmer. It's like a satin, but like hardly. My 2 original ones are my favorite. I don't think that I want to keep this one in Encrypted Kryptonite and then this one in Bronze Influence. I didn't like this green in the outer corner. I can pass it along too. But the Embedded in Burgundy and then the Future Flame, these 2, if I can get it open, these 2 are my favorite. These 2 were my first, and these 2 are my favorite. So I'm gonna hold on to both of those, but pass the other 2 along. All right, let's go over Huda. Huda's not going anywhere. They're gone, so I don't enjoy them. The Naughty palette, you know, some interesting choices too with like the shimmer formulation. And I gotta say, Huda's mattes weren't always banging, but I just enjoy the color stories a lot. The Naughty palette, then the Rose Quartz palette. Color stories were really good. I think what I disliked about the Huda was that it was kind of a thinner matte formula. I don't think everyone kind of pinpointed that I don't know that that's what it was, but that's how I feel about them. I can't. The color stories are really good. Then the Nude. Too many press glitters. Too many, if you ask me. And some of the shimmers in here are a little funny. And I wish it had one more deep matte shade. Like that's the only one, and I don't really like that in the outer corner, but I feel like it's kind of like, it's a moment, you know? It's a nude, it's a whole moment. The Empowered palette. Warm and cool all together. Do you see the cool tones? I spy the cool tones. There are some, there's like 1, 2, then the black, like this is kind of a cool tone. These are very warm toned, but I kind of saw it like this. Look. Can you kind of see that this is like a cooler side and that's like a warm side? That's how I saw it. This is a weird shade, but it's like creamy. So it's usable if it can manage the creamy one. I didn't like Limitless. Reminds me of the Odensai formula that just crumples, runs out of steam, that sort of thing. Don't need the cream, don't need it, but I'm still holding on to it. The Icy Nude. This one didn't have enough binding oils in the shimmers. This is like a straight up pressed glitter. That's a real glitter. I wouldn't have ended with this palette in my line. These 2 shades are too similar. Least favorite. Weird 2 shades that don't even show up. They're so light. Do you see them? Like super light pink and a white. I don't know. This is my least favorite Huda palette. The Pretty Grunge palette, I do like. I think that there are warm and cool tones in here too. I use this shade as a liner, so it's like not bad, but I don't really need it. It is a liner. That is not like a cream. Like if you compare it against the creams that are in these other ones over here, like this is a full liner and the other ones were very like creamy. This is like sticky. Yeah, again, warm tones. Cool tones. That's what I see with this. I like that there's more deepening shades in here, like Renegade and Nirvana and Fearless and Hope. I think there's just more deepening mid-tone and transition shades, more so than there was like in the Icy Nude palette. So it made it easier to work with. So I really disliked of all of them, the Icy Nude the most. These are really good. They just are, like all together. And then the Mercury Retrograde. This is just fun. Need one more or two more deep matte shades too. I feel like we're missing something. Maybe in the brown matte would have been nice. I don't know, some other color. I'm trying to think, like maybe even like a deep blue if you wanted to do more of like these shimmers with like a blue look. I feel like you need one more deep shade. It's kind of like, again, that this is an accent to the shimmers if I was gonna put a look together. Yeah, so least favorite was the Icy Nude. So again, not the one I would have ended with, but they're all gonna stay. All right, Pat McGrath. I got rid of some last year, so I don't wanna get rid of any of these. This is the Venus in Flores Luxe Quad in Voyeuristic Vixen. This one, I love the shimmer formulation. They're just different. Like this here is, it's sparkly, foily, standard, nice accent shade. I really enjoyed this palette. I really enjoyed this one too, even though I think these are like thinner, more powdery mattes. I think I got rid of another one that was like this. I like it as the outer corner shade for each one of these shimmers. I will say, like, even though that's warm toned and that's a little bit more cool toned, they do look similar on the eyes. This is just a very nice, neutral, travel friendly palette. All right, am I in love with this Christmas release from 2020? No, I'm not. The Mothership Mega Celestial Odyssey. I've held on to it because it's Pat McGrath and it was expensive, but I haven't even used every one of these shimmers. It was like kind of at a time where I didn't use every single shimmer in a palette the way that I do now. Like, you better believe if I buy a palette for 70 bucks, I'm trying every one of those shades. And that's also how I test things more so now. I don't think it's a bad formulation. And there are some more chunky shades in here. Like, this is an all shimmer palette, let's be honest. Like, what are we doing with these 4 mattes? There's 1 deep and there's 3 transition. These are not even light, these are mid-tone. I mean, maybe that's like kind of light. These 2 are more mid-tone in my personal opinion, but like, it's an all shimmer palette. Let's just be honest. That's kind of what I think about this. And the pops of color are fun, right? Like if you're going to do an all shimmer palette, like give me variety and give me different colors. And I feel like it did that. I think that's what confuses people, is when you throw in mattes that are like, there's 4 of them, you know? I think that confuses people. Like even in Adept Cosmetics, where I feel like we've all just kind of gotten used to the fact that there's some mattes in there we may not like totally love. All right, my Mothership palettes. We won't be getting rid of these either. Mothership 7 Divine Rose. This is the first one I ever bought, or second, no, second. This one's cool toned and it's special and it has the Astral Blitz shades right here, those 3. The mattes, again, it's 2 mattes. This is basically an all shimmer palette. Let's be honest. Mothership 9 Sunlit Seduction. This is the most recent one that I purchased and it doesn't have the Astral Blitz baked shades. These ones are super sparkly with 3 satins. Again, 3 mattes. And 2 lights and 1 mid-tone. Not really deep for me. Could be. Actually, this is kind of a deep shade, but her mattes have always been like patchy on me. Do you guys get that with Pat McGrath? I do. I don't know. Maybe it's been a while since I tested the formula and now I'm a little bit better. Divine Rose 2. It's the Mothership 8. This might have been the first one that I picked up. Now I'm struggling, but it's got the Astral Blitz, the 4 quad, and then 3 standard satin, 4 satins. These are the only 2 mattes in here. Again, let's just call it an all shimmer palette because that's basically what she is. This is a limited edition packaging. So I think I got rid of 1 little quad that I picked up from Pat McGrath. I mean, by the time I started using Pat McGrath, people were already saying the color stories were all the same. All right, guys, this is the last set of palettes. These are all like what I consider my smaller ones. I want to start with the Pat McGrath because this is the last Pat McGrath one that I have. It's a little 6-pan. It's so beautiful and smoky. It performs really well. These are just standard like metallic formula shimmers. So nothing like super duper complex about it. It's just good quality. This one here from Charlotte is the only Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow formula I have ever tried, and it is so underwhelming. These shimmers are super dry. The matte is fine, but it's just fine. I wanted to hold on to this Queen of Luck luxury palette to compare if I ever try it again, but I don't need to. I'm gonna pass it along. By the way, this little 6-pan is the mini eyeshadow palette in Sublime Smoke. This one from Lorac is the mini pro palette in Sparkling. You know, I don't think I need this one either. Like, I have those other palettes, and I think the last time I did travel with this, I was kind of underwhelmed with the shimmer formula. It was like okay, but I feel like I wanted something deeper in the outer corner, and I couldn't get that, so I'm gonna pass that one along too. This Kiko Milano one from the Beauty Essentials collection is Earth Sides is the color story. This one I really enjoyed. Like, it is such a creamy formula, and it was really good quality, and you have like a light mid-tone, a little bit of a deeper shade and super deep, and just like different color shimmers. So this one I really enjoyed and I want to hold on to. The one YSL palette that I have, one of the mini clutches, is in 800 is the color story. This I liked also. You got your standard metallic formula and then a sparkly shade and 2 like mid-tone mattes. This is even kind of like a deepening outer corner one. These are creamy shades, so, ooh, there's like hair on here. Ew, you guys. My cat has been laying on this sweater, and I had this sweater upstairs. There's so much hair on it, but it's so cold up here. I like took a break and like came back, but I didn't even notice like all the hairs that are like on this. Like, oh God, the cat totally laid on this sweater. Okay, there's literally hairs everywhere. I just now noticed, so I'm sorry I've been showing you all this cat hair. Okay, anyway, these are very creamy mattes. They're not super pigmented. That's like more of a, like a luxury eyeshadow formula, but I do enjoy it. It's a good simple neutral palette. My one quad from Chanel, this is like all shimmer, but it's so good. They're like satin formulas. It's an all shimmer, but yeah, I think these are some like satin shades in here. It's a nice formulation. It's not the best, most exciting thing, but it was pretty expensive. The one from Prada is actually really good. This is the one in the color story 03. It's called their Durable Multi-Effect Eyeshadows, and this is a 5-pan. Sorry, it's a 4-pan. It is a quad. This shade up here is the deepening shade. I thought it was nice. These are very creamy shadows, and this is actually a very nice shimmer. It's super creamy, but it actually is like quite pigmented. There's a lot going on with it. They're just super smooth shades. It was just really good quality. So I'm definitely holding on to that one. I don't know what else they have released for those color stories when those like first dropped, but I mean, I would be interested in getting more if there were more that I liked. But everyone was jumping on the Prada bandwagon when those dropped, that there was a color story I had in my cart that ended up like being sold out before I ended up like checking out with it, so I couldn't pick a different one. I think the same thing was true with the Hermes quad that I have. It's also pretty decent quality. It only has one shimmer and kind of like a strange pop color. Not as good as Prada, I will say, but like decent enough to keep. It's in 01. Patalis, Ombres Patalis, I think is the color story on this one. Oh, there's cat hair on literally everything. Here's the rest of my Divina Cosmetics singles right here, these 4, and this one cannot tell you where it's from. It's my favorite single ever, but it doesn't have the brand on the bottom. It's just in the shade Unicorn Tears. It is the best single I have in my whole collection. It's that like shifty silver, purple, blue. It is so freaking pretty on the eyes. Sometimes they look pretty in the pan, but this one is quite truly delicious on the eyes. Yeah, just a lovely single palette. These ended up not being like my favorite Divina ones. Like, these are okay, but these ones are truly like metallic, very, very foilied. And that one is just delish. So we're definitely holding on to those. This Mean Greens one from SD, Shine by SD Cosmetics. This is still available for sale, I'm pretty sure, but the Garden of Love one that I showed you earlier is not. These shades are like quite similar, these 3 on the eyes, but it's kind of a shade that I really enjoy. So I don't know if that's like kind of obvious, but I keep having singles like this, so I definitely enjoy this. I want to hold on to it. I'm gonna save Viseart. You know, I've only decluttered like one collection from Viseart before. I've never decluttered any of the other ones that I had outside of that collection, so I don't know where I'm going with the Viseart just yet. I don't know if I will get rid of any more than I just did. I mean, we'll see. The Viseart is where I would do it if I would. From Tom Ford, Pretty Baby, discontinued. Beautiful color story. Mel Thompson convinced me to buy this because of this like mermaid shade right here. These are like not the best mattes that I've tried from Tom Ford, but the shimmer is delicious. All of them are very desaturated. I mean, at least the three that I have. Keep them in the sleeves. And then this one is in Leopard Sun. You might be able to still get this one. I think this formulation in the mattes is nicer. This is a very like chunky shimmer, if you will, for Tom Ford, I think. The Pretty Baby one, that shimmer is like kind of shifty. It's almost like a duochrome, but it's much softer, not as foilied as that one. This one is in Honeymoon, another one that I'm pretty sure is discontinued, and this is all like those satin shimmers. So, I like all of these. They're too expensive to get rid of. They're just kind of nice for like collection purposes at this current moment. And I would say that they're decently travel friendly. All right, let's take a look at some of the color stories from Viseart. These are the last palettes that we have. Again, I've never decluttered anything outside of that collection. This one is in London Étoile. I never know how to pronounce it. Let's like take a look at some of these. I'm just not sure where I want to go. San Francisco Étoile. I want to get the ones that come from that collection. I think those are it. Those are the only two that I have from the Étoile or Étoiles. I'm not sure how you pronounce it again. Honestly, I just like the Viseart formula so much. I know some people say like, where's the pizzazz in it? Well, I think what's really good about Viseart is that the matte formulation is very easy to work with. It's pretty standard formula overall. There's no funniness. Like the mattes perform very well. All of the shimmers are very traditionally more satin and they're just wearable. But a lot of these are very pigmented shades, you know, they're not very desaturated. So I think that's like a really attractive thing about Viseart. I mean, they just perform. Like, let me swatch one of these for you and so you could just see. Like, see how pretty? It's super simple. It's got a little bit of light reflection. You could wear it on its own. Nothing funny about the formulation, just super soft. It's just a very soft formula and it's trusty and it's everyday. And I think that's really like the attractiveness in the Viseart quality. Go, you know, go. You just want to get your eyeshadow done and go. They're not like foilied or super light reflecting. And as far as like eyeshadows go, they're on the more expensive side for tiny little palettes. And that's totally true. But aside from that one collection, the quality has been so good with these palettes. So I'm really hesitant to pass any of them along. I like this pop of blue in the San Francisco one. Always have. Like that this one's a little bit of a deeper color story. Just don't think I'm ready to get rid of any. So let me just show you all of them. And if I come across one that I just don't want, then I'll get rid of it. The Florette Bijou. This is the only one that I had from the Bijoux. And I didn't love the little eyeshadow quad, but I had two blush in here that I kind of liked. And so like, that's the reason I kept it, because other than this palette, I haven't tried the blush formulation from Viseart. You know, these are nice, but these shimmers, well, this one especially was a lot drier than normal. It's like a duochrome. I don't know. I think this one's probably my least favorite, if I'm being honest. And then these ones in the Petite Fours, I have 4 of them. The Lila Duh is this one, or Duh. This one is Violetta. Oh, these are stunning, cool tones. The Amelie, which is my favorite, very warm toned quad. Let me put these center frame. That just, okay, excuse you. And then this one is Garnet, which is all shimmer except one matte that I absolutely hate. Like, that's a cream. What is that? I mean, not a cream, cream colored. Like, what is that doing? What is that doing for me? Am I diffusing these other colors out? Because that's not showing up. The thing is, they're all magnetic, so if I wanted to, I could like switch them around. I like the cool tonedness and wearableness. I like that this is a deeper shade in a duochrome. To you guys, it looks silver. To me, it's purple. This is warm toned and it always looks so sophisticated on the eyes. And I like that this is all shimmer. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of any of these. These are just nice to travel with. And at some point, I decided that I wanted to like collect these, and then I kind of stopped. So I'm gonna hold on to all of these ones. This one is the Spritz Edit. It's the only one of its size. This one is one of my favorites in terms of color stories and like performance in all of the Viseart palettes. It's just got like a nice deepening shade, or kind of these two are deepening shades, I would say. It's just, ooh, it's so warm toned and delicious. These are the Petite Pros. This is like the original, and this is the Trois. I don't know. At some point when I get to like test these a little bit more, I might decide I want to get rid of them, but I have like a weird attachment to them. These ones are good quality, I'm telling you. I got rid of the 3 that were no good. Okay, the Ceranusse Intendu. I think this was the only one that I had that was like this. They had like 2, I think, in these color stories that were like in this like book style, I guess. This is a great little neutral palette, and that's like another duochrome. Oh, this one's really good. I think it's a mix of warm tones and cool tones. And then these 3 are all the same size. The La Marat, the Soleil La Plage, and Cashmere. These, I think I've used the most. Like, see how dirty that is? I just want to say that the variety in these is definitely like more appealing than the smaller ones. Cool tone, warm tone, pop of color, very, very warm tone. So good. It's just wearable. That's basically what it comes down to. Okay, I think I'm probably gonna count how many palettes that we started with just to give you guys some numbers here, and then I will show you what we ended up decluttering. It was not that much, but so what? I feel good. I just did the math, you guys. We started with 268 palettes. In here, I only ended up getting rid of 23. I actually thought I was gonna do like a lot better than this. I thought there was gonna be quite a bit more that I ended up decluttering. You know, the thing is, like, when you're doing declutters on eyeshadow palettes and you've spent all your money, your own money on it, it is so much harder to get rid of a color story that you may not necessarily like, or probably a palette that you're probably not gonna reach for that much than you would if you got it in PR. Like, some of my favorite declutters, I will say, come from content creators where they get a ton of stuff in PR, and I know the color stories that they want to play with. For me, it's harder. All of my money goes to it, you know? So like, it has to be something tremendously wrong with the palette and really, really just not something I'm ever gonna reach for, like ever, you know? In order for me to get rid of it. Every year I do these declutters and I get rid of about this many. So I started with 268, you guys. It leaves me with 245 palettes in my collection. I'm actually pleased with myself. I worked really hard to build up an eyeshadow collection, and I wanted to be someone who had over 200 palettes. And I think at some point I was like, okay, I'm at 100, like whatever. I wanted to have over 200 palettes. I would still like to have more from brands that I really enjoy. I want to show you guys my setup of where the eyeshadow palettes went back in to the drawers. I just spent like a half an hour organizing it. So I want to show you all of that. Let's do it, and then we're done. All right, hopefully the lighting is okay. I just have this Alex 9 is what I think these are called. And this is not an ideal scenario for storing these eyeshadows. I'll tell you why. You can't put like a lot. They're not very tall. There's only the 4 drawers. I think it's 4. Yeah, 4 at the bottom that are bigger. And so you can't like stand them all up straight. So it kind of sucks. Here are all my singles. Even these are kind of a nightmare because these drawers are so shallow in terms of where they open, but they go back pretty far. What I want to do is like swap this out for like a long dresser that goes against the wall. So at some point I can just stack them all like this and I can see them all. You'll see. I have to put some like in the back, and then, you know, you don't see them. Anyway, let me show you what I have here. These are all my affordable palettes. I've got ColourPop, I've got BH Cosmetics, Juvia's Place, and these are all like one-offs. You know, the Moira, the Oma Beauty, the Essence, and then these ones are Flower Beauty. I think it looks okay. Like, I can see it and I kind of understand based on how it's stacked. It gets a little bit more crazy as the drawers go down. So this one, I just kind of did like more mainstream palettes. I've done my Pat McGrath here just because they seem to fit together. The couple from Bobbi Brown, all the ABH, and then these ones were all just kind of like similar sizes. You know, Laura Lee Los Angeles isn't mainstream, but I think the rest of these are. Too Faced, Oma Beauty, Wander Beauty, I'm still an indie brand, KKW, Patrick Ta, and then I had to like lay some down there. Again, kind of more mainstream, REM Beauty, Morphe, you guys get it. I packed it as good as I could. This is where the indie brand shadows start. I did my Game Beauty here. Unearthly Cosmetics, Melt, Kaleidos here, Sigma. This is the Lorac. These are the Unique Beauty. And I did, what is this one? I think this is the only one that I've finished testing from Krypton Cosmetics. So I kind of left myself a bit of room because you guys saw I have 2 more Krypton Cosmetics palettes that need to go in here because I'm trying to keep the brands together. That's essentially what I'm doing. Now these ones, because these are all hand pressed shimmers, I stacked laying down and not side by side. So I might move those like up there and turn them to give myself some more room. I also shoved Unearthly in here and I have more from Unearthly. There's one on the Spring Magic palette that's back there. Like, this is not ideal, okay? The Hodgepodge. This was like Sea Beauty, and then we did some Adept here. It's just like everything that fit. I tried to do my DD signature, but only 2 of these palettes stood up because this is still a shallow drawer. So there's just off craziness going on. Then I tried to do another like more mainstream collection. You've got, what is this? Why am I blinking? Danessa Myricks, Huda, Pat, Mac, Lunar Beauty, Nomad. These are all like one-offs. I did all of my Ensley Rain in here, which isn't a lot. Still packed to the brim. All my indie brands. Now this is not as cohesive looking because what I did here was I put all the brands together. Glaminatrix, Gloss God, It's Belle Cosmetics, Gourmand Girls, St. Angel Sinners, Diaverin Cosmetics. I wanted to keep them together. I've got my Cosmic brushes and Artitude Cosmetics back there and the 2 Blend Bunny ones that I have. I also have in here somehow Bella Beauty Bar, wherever Bella Beauty Bar is. Yeah, so all my Bella Beauty Bar is in here like throughout. Are these them? Yes, these are them also. This one here is the empty one. Now, can I get 30 more palettes that I have around the room in this drawer? I don't know, but it's the last available one that I have. And this is just Gimme Glow and Odin's Eye. It's all. So I'm gonna outgrow this with 245 palettes. Now, I hate that all my little ones are on the bottom drawer, but the thing is, they are too tall the way that I have these Viseart to go in the more shallow ones up there. So it is what it is. Sorry if my carpet is like dirty. It is what it is. Anyway, that is it, you guys. That is my storage. Give me some ideas on like what you would store these in, or like what you guys store your eyeshadows in. If you have a larger collection, that is all. I just want some recommendations. I hate that thing. I kind of wish I never started with it. Love y'all. See you later. I'm out of here.